Chapter 1891. So what if you're a body integration cultivator? Yi-chan asked coldly as he faced the three body integration stage cultivators. Those body integration stage beings were instantly enraged by this question. This was clearly a provocation. Brat, a mere spatial tempering stage cultivator dares to criticize a body integration stage cultivator? What's more, you're outsiders. Since you've ascended to the spiritual realm, you should know how to behave. The leading conjoint body cultivator stepped forward and scolded Yi-chan. True strength is not just limited to one's cultivation level. Oh, ha. This is the first time I've heard of such a statement. Since when did one's realm not represent one's strength? That's right, ha. The conjoint body cultivators of the side burst out laughing, as if mocking Yi-chan for being a country bumpkin. Some cultivators even shouted, "Country bumpkin, go home and farm." Immediately, there was even more laughter. The emissary of Great Might City couldn't hold it in any longer. Don't mess around. These two are experts we invited from Fengzhou City. Get out of the way. Great envoy. I'm not used to hear your words. Fengzhou City is just a small city in the frontier fortress. How can there be any experts there? We have been waiting outside the city lord's mansion for a long time, but we haven't been summoned by the city lord. You actually invited people from Fengzhou City to see the city lord. How can we accept this? Yes, we don't accept this. In an instant, many cultivators stepped forward to stop Yi-chan and the others, preventing them from entering the city governor's residence. The situation had exceeded the two envoys' expectations. They looked at Yi-chan with a troubled expression. These body integration cultivators gathered at the entrance of the city lord's manor weren't completely clueless. They were all guests of the general's mansion. Otherwise, they wouldn't have dared to be so rude to the envoy. Everyone, if you're not satisfied, please wait for the city lord's judgment. Don't cause trouble. Number 1 emissary said impatiently. Lord Emissary, we are all people of the general's mansion. Aren't you afraid of the general's anger by treating us like this? The leading body integration cultivator looked at the envoy coldly, seemingly unafraid of the city lord manor's might. What do you all want? Asked the second emissary. It's very simple. They have to prove that they have the strength to enter the city lord's mansion and join the elite exorcist team. How can I prove it? It's simple. The three of them will come at me together. If they can withstand one of my attacks, I will let them pass. The body integration cultivator was very confident, and the people around him immediately applauded. Great, this group of foreign country bumpkins must be scared silly, right? The body integration cultivators in the spirit realm are completely different from those in the spirit realm. Really, 3 pieces of trash. Don't dare to accept the challenge? Yi-chan and the other 2 were infuriated as they echoed. Fellow Taoist Yi, I didn't expect the people of the spiritual realm to be so rude. If we don't show them what we're capable of, I'm afraid they won't be able to recognize you. The old ancestor smiled. That's true. Yi-chan nodded. Oh, do the 3 of you dare to accept the challenge? The cultivator asked. Not the 3 of us, but the 3 of you. Yi-chan stepped forward and pointed at the body integration cultivators. The troublemaker had a cold look on his face. He didn't expect the other party to be so arrogant and dare to challenge all 3 of them. Since you're so arrogant this time, we won't hold back either. Yes, there's no need for us to be polite. Who needs your courtesy? Hurry up and die. Don't waste our time. What did you say? Hearing this, the cultivators were instantly enraged. The 2 emissaries revealed a troubled look. They had seen Yi-chan's arrogance and unruly in Feng State City. However, when a spirit realm cultivator ascended to the spirit realm, his foundation was not stable. Such arrogance might cause problems. For example, although the 2 of them acknowledged Yi-chan's strength, it was too exaggerated for one person to fight against 3 body integration cultivators in the spirit realm. One should know that Yi-chan's cultivation base was only at the advanced void refinement stage, while the 3 outer shells of the general's mansion before them were all at the intermediate body integration stage. Logically speaking, the gap between them and Yi-chan was absolutely obvious. Under such conditions, One person challenging three people was an act of courting death. What should we do? The second emissary looked at the first emissary and said, "There's no other way." Yichin took the initiative to challenge those three people. We can only watch. The two emissaries did not participate and were just spectators. If Yichin really died here, it could only be fate. On the main road, the three body integration cultivators looked at Yichin coldly, then looked at each other and revealed a sinister smile. Clatter, clatter, clatter. Soon, many cultivators in the surroundings also came over to watch the show. Initially, this assistant forming an elite team had nothing to do with them. However, they would not miss out on a good show. Avoid refinement stage cultivator challenging three body integration cultivators. This kid is crazy. Spirit realm cultivators are really idiots. Let alone three body integration cultivators. Any one of them would be able to kill him with ease, right? Many passers-by shook their heads. They thought that Yichin was a person who could even throw away his own life for the sake of showing off. Such a person was like mud in the spirit realm and would not receive anyone's sympathy. Ha, this is going to be fun. Many people revealed mocking expressions. They were watching with the attitude of watching a monkey show. At this moment, Yichin walked forward and locked his cold eyes on the three people. "Don't waste time. Come with me together," he said coldly. Although everyone thought that Yichin was just bluffing, when a void refinement stage cultivator who had ascended from the spirit realm said such words, where did their dignity go? The three of them revealed expressions of anger. If they did not kill the person before them this time, they would no longer have the face to stay in Great Might City. Since he wants the three of us to fight him together, we won't be bullying him if we attack him together. Let's attack together. All right. The three of them exchanged glances. It was obvious that they wanted to take Yichin's life. Kill. The three of them released their abilities at the same time. However, the space shook violently. Waves of powerful spiritual power gathered into a sharp blade and stabbed directly at Yichin's chest. Everyone was shocked. They did not expect the three of them to really kill him. Not only did they join forces, but they also used such a killing ability. They wanted to kill him with a single strike. Senior Yi this. The two envoys looked worried. They did not know Yichin that well. To them, Yichin would definitely die this time. Their efforts would even be wasted. However, Yichin roared and ancient god power flowed through his body. Rays of golden light bloomed from his meridians. He was like a bronze statue, indestructible. Rumble. At this moment, the killing blades of the three body integration cultivators had arrived before Yichin. Kill. Die. The three of them pushed the sharp blade at the same time and stabbed it at Yichin's chest. They hoped to kill him with a single strike and get back at him. End of this chapter. Chapter 1892. Clang. Just as the psionic blade was about to pierce Yichin, a powerful golden light suddenly erupted from Yichin's body. The advancing psionic blade could not move forward no matter how hard it tried. There was even the sound of metal clashing. What? The three of them were shocked at the same time and locked their eyes on Yichin. They could not imagine how the psionic blade, condensed by the three of them, could not pierce Yichin's body. Ha ha ha. You want to kill me with this little ability? Yichin laughed maniacally like a god of war. The three of them used all their strength, trying to break through Yichin's protective barrier, but it was useless. How could a mere fusion stage person break through the ancient god power? Chi construct recoil. Following that, there was a cold shout. Chi construct gathered in Yichin's body and shot out. Rumble. The powerful ancient god power instantly sent the three of them flying 10 meters away. As the screams rang out, the three of them fell to the ground one after another. Some of them could not even control their bodies, and their limbs were facing the sky. That posture was utterly humiliating. The spectators were dumbfounded. They wanted to see the arrogant outsider die here, but the result they saw was the three outer shells of the general's residence being sent flying. This scene was too shocking. What happened? Why is Yichin fine, but the three of them were sent flying? I didn't see it clearly either. I only saw the golden light bloom, and then the three of them were sent flying. This Yi-chun seems to have a diamond body. The energy blade can't pierce through. This phenomenon shows that this person is extraordinary. Facts spoke louder than words. The result before them completely showed that Yi-chun's strength was above the three of them. Now, they had no reason to stop Yi-chun. Ha ha ha. At this moment, the number one emissary walked forward with a smile. Do you have any more questions? He asked the three people who had fallen to the ground. No problem. The three of them stammered and nodded. The combined strength of the three of them was easily resolved by Yi-chun. In other words, it was too easy for Yi-chun to kill them. They were not fools to die. Senior Yi, please. The number one emissary stepped forward and made an inviting gesture. When everyone heard the emissary call, Yi-chun Sr., they were shocked. They did not expect Yi-chun's status and strength to be so powerful. Many cultivators in the general's residence left. After entering the city governor's residence, the number one messenger brought Yi-chun and the other two to meet the city governor. In a large hall, the city lord came out to welcome them. Da-da-da. The sound of footsteps rang out. Yi-chun looked to the front and saw a person walking straight toward him. His figure was majestic and his footsteps were steady. He exuded an otherworldly aura that was shocking. This is our city lord, Bu Chongqing. Greetings, city lord. The three of them bowed at the same time. No need to be so polite. I'm very pleased that the three of you could come to my residence as guests. Bu Chongqing smiled at the three of them. He was approachable and did not put on any airs. This made Yi-chun lower his guard slightly. After entering the residence, everyone took their seats. City governor, why did you form such an elite team? Yi-chun asked. Right now, the demonic calamity is happening everywhere. They are killing people and plundering their goods. There is nothing that they will not commit. As a martial cultivator, as well as the city lord of Great Might City, I will naturally not watch with folded arms. This time around, I have formed an elite squad with the intention of taking down all of the demon clan's nests around Great Might City in one fell swoop. Do the three of you have the courage to participate? The city governor looked at Yi-chun and the other two after he was done speaking. Why wouldn't I dare? I wonder what kind of reward the city governor's mansion will give us. There's no problem with the reward. Just name it. I, Bu Chongqing, will not refuse. Since the city governor is so generous, we won't be unreasonable. We've just entered the spiritual realm and are very unfamiliar with the environment and cultivation here. Please give us sufficient cultivation resources, city governor. This is a small matter. Since I've invited you to join the elite squad, of course, I won't mistreat you. Go and get ready. Yes. Messenger number 2 accepted the order, nodded slightly, and left. I wonder what the situation is like around Great Might City. Is it similar to around Fengzhou City? Yi-chun asked. This was information that he had to know before joining the elite squad. After all, Yi-chun had to be responsible for the Patriarch and Wushuang. Although there are demons from the Demon Eye Mountain around Fengzhou City, they can't compare to Great Might City. The demons here came directly from the demonic realm. Demonic realm. Yi-chun was slightly stunned when he heard about the demonic realm. He remembered that people from the demonic realm had descended directly into Great Might City. Rumor has it that it's not easy for people from the demonic realm to adapt to the human spiritual land. City governor, is there something different about these demons? That's right, these demons are evolved species. Evolved species? Yi-chun was even more surprised. He did not expect the city governor to come up with an evolved species. This made him feel a little fierce. These evolved species are far more powerful than ordinary species. Not only do their offensive abilities soar, but their defensive abilities are also extremely strong. Ordinary weapons can't hurt them at all. Therefore, for the sake of the demon-slaying mission, the city governor's mansion has used special divine weapons to deal with these demons. Special divine weapons. That's right, it's a demon slayer weapon. Bu Zhongqing waved his hand and a few cultivators appeared with the demon slayer weapon. Yi-chun saw a spear in their hands. The spear's entire body radiated with silver light. It contained the spiritual chi of heaven and earth and the essence of the sun and moon. At the same time, it was made of several hundred years old cold iron, so its power was naturally extraordinary. Zong! Yi Chen took the spear and waved it like the wind. He was very satisfied. Ha! Since fella you wants this spear, I'll give it to you. Yi Chen did not expect the city governor to be so polite to give him such a divine weapon. He turned his head to look at the patriarch and Wu Shuang. Would these two also get divine weapons? Naturally, Bu Zhangqing saw through his thoughts and continued. You don't have to worry. We'll provide these two with different tailor-made divine weapons. Please wait patiently. Don't worry. Such a small matter doesn't make me nervous. The patriarch replied. Wu Shuang nodded slightly. Such confidence made Bu Zhangqing feel a glimmer of hope. The demons have been rampant for a long time. They've caused the villages, farms, and expansion of production around David City to become extremely dilapidated. If I don't take revenge, how can I face the people of David City? The city governor is benevolent. I'll definitely succeed. Yi Chen said, whether it succeeds or not doesn't depend on me. It depends on all of you. Clack, clack, clack. At this moment, messenger number 2 brought a few boxes up. The patriarch looked surprised and hurried forward. He opened the boxes and saw that they were all sparkling spirit stones. These spirit stones at the lowest level were dozens of times more effective than the top-grade spirit stones in Fengzhou City. How is it? Is it enough for your cultivation? Bu Zhangqing asked. We admire the city governor's generosity. Yi Chen stood up and bowed. With so many cultivation resources, he was going to break through today. End of this chapter. Chapter 1893. The envoy of Dawei City brought Yi Chen to a high-class guest room. Then, the three of them began their journey of breaking through with the cultivation resources provided by the governor. Yi Chen sat cross-legged in the room. His entire body was enveloped in psionic power. With the powerful ancient god body, Yi Chen could absorb more than 100 times more spirit stones than an ordinary person. Roar! At this moment, the silhouette of the Void Breaker beast appeared behind him. Rumble! The entire space was trembling. After this period of time, the void-splitting beast had grown even stronger. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The top-grade spirit stones in front of Yi Chen kept emitting spiritual light. The Void Breaker beast absorbed the psionic power in a frenzy. Phew! Yi Chen let out a long breath. His entire body entered a state of concentration. His 8 extraordinary meridians opened, and his bones and muscles trembled. Roar! The Void Breaker beast opened its huge mouth. The energy of the spirit stones flowed into Yi Chen's body like a tidal wave. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. As the energy density was too high, electricity appeared on Yi Chen's body. His body entered a high-energy state and became extremely unstable. Yi Chen's eyes kept moving. The psionic power in his meridians surged wildly. Ancient Godheart Technique. Using the ancient Godheart Technique, Yi Chen guided the psionic power absorbed by the Void Breaker beast to flow through his body. Rumble! An ordinary person's meridians would not be able to withstand such a violent surge of energy. However, with the ancient God body, Yi Chen could endure it. Following that, he felt extreme pain all over his body. It was too difficult for him to break through. Because his foundation was too strong, each breakthrough became extremely difficult. He had to absorb energy that was thousands of times more than an ordinary person to surpass his current level. Roar! The Void Breaker beast roared. Yi Chen's body entered its ultimate state. The ocean of vital energy surged. The ancient God body refinement technique. Yi Chen's body seemed to become transparent. This shocked even Yi Chen himself. What is this? He sensed the movement of a strange force, and he could almost see the entire structure of his body. Golden glaze body. A strange term suddenly appeared in his mind. This shocked Yi Chen. He did not think that the ancient God body could continue to evolve. This was too strange. The ancient God body was an existence that surpassed the holy body in this world, but it was still evolving. Rumble! It was as if a dragon was roaring in his meridians, and spiritual energy began to surge. The appearance of the golden glaze body meant that Yi Chen's cultivation base had risen from the advanced void refinement stage to the peak of the void refinement stage. Although it was only an increase of a minor level, which was nothing to most geniuses, to Yi Chun, it was something to be happy about. This was because the increase in his strength was not just a minor level, but a qualitative leap. Boom! Zzz. As the heavens and earth shook, a beam of golden light shot into the sky, triggering a strange phenomenon. This massive tremor was so powerful that it almost shook the entire City Lord's mansion. The City Lord and the envoys all went out to look at the sky. At this moment, the night sky was illuminated by this golden light as if it were daytime. The heavenly stars grew dim, the moon without light. There was only a streak of golden light. This was precisely the supreme being in the night sky, shocking everyone. This is... The City Lord stared blankly at the golden light. He didn't know what was going on. City Governor, that seems to be Yi Chen's residence. Number 1 emissary said in a trembling voice. Yi Chun, the City Lord, turned pale with fright and hurriedly flew up to the pavilion. At a glance, it was indeed Yi Chen's residence. Ha ha, envoy, you found a god for me this time. Such a shocking phenomenon. This person is extraordinary. The City Lord was overjoyed. He had long wanted to set up a team of his own. In order to achieve this wish, he had recruited people and recruited talents from everywhere. However, the people from the general's mansion were one step ahead of him every time. They would either return empty-handed or find some mediocre people. This time, he was really lucky to be able to find a god like Yi Chun. Haha, it's all thanks to the City Lord that we found a genius like Yi Chun this time. Our elite Demon Slayer team will definitely achieve something and defeat the General's Mansion in the future Demon Slayer competition. Ha ha, of course. As he spoke, excitement appeared on the City Lord's face. This year's Demon Slayer competition was about to begin. Moreover, this time, it was hosted by the 7th Prince of the Imperial City. It was a good opportunity to show off. He looked in the direction that Yi Chun had pointed out, and there was an impulse gathering in his heart. At this moment, Yi Chun was wholeheartedly focused on breaking through to the next level. He, who had advanced to peak void refinement, had improved his foundation beyond imagination. The golden glaze body made his body abnormally smooth. His meridians were like the sea, and his spiritual power was like waves. It was a feeling that he had never felt before. Moreover, he felt that his body had become stronger than before. He even felt like he had evolved into a higher form. With a leap, he soared into the sky. Like a fiery meteor, he soared into the sky and instantly arrived above the clouds. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The wind in the surrounding space kept attacking. This was the phenomenon caused by Yi Chen's golden glaze body. These wind could completely cut the bodies of ordinary fusion stage cultivators, making them feel as if they were being cut by thousands of knives. It was unbearable pain. However, when Yi Chun entered the Qi Feng, it felt like a gentle breeze caressing his face. That comfortable feeling made Yi Chun feel great. This is awesome. It was Yi Chun's first time feeling so refreshed. The spiritual power in his body also changed at the same time and became domineering energy. Roar! With a dragon's roar, Yi Chun soared again and reached a new height. Rumble! Sizzle! Sizzle, sizzle. At this moment, the heaven and earth thunder and lightning attacked Yi Chun. Ha, good one. Yi Chun was not afraid of the power of the heavenly tribulation lightning. The void breaker beast behind him absorbed the power of the lightning. That was right. The heavenly tribulation lightning that could destroy an ordinary cultivator was like a dessert to Yi Chun. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The endless thunder divine power was absorbed by Yi Chun. With the golden glaze body and the peak supreme devouring mageweth, Yi Chen's body that had just broken through devoured the power crazily. He needed power to fill his newly developed foundation. Ha ha! I'm the only one in this world. Yi Chen stretched out his psyche body and produced endless domineering energy. With a strong foundation, it wreaked havoc in the sky. Rumble! The entire city governor's mansion was surrounded by lightning and thunder. Many powerhouses came out to see the phenomenon. What is this? It's too terrifying. No, look, there's a person at the highest point in the sky. Finally, some powerhouses realized that there was a person standing in the middle of the heaven and earth divine thunder. They were completely shocked. This level of divine thunder was not seen in 100 years. Even a peak fusion stage cultivator would die on the spot when surrounded by divine thunder. However, there was someone standing in it as if he was taking a bath. This was too ridiculous. End of this chapter. Chapter 1894. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. With a furious roar, Yi Chun released a glazed golden light under the violent bombardment of thousands of divine lightning bolts. An ancient god shadow appeared behind him. Boom! The power of an ancient god filled the world. Humans and gods were frightened, and the world shook. Who is this person? How could he possess such shocking might? An expert asked. Ha ha! Everyone, this person is one of the new elite squad members that I've sent people to find. Bu Chongqing revealed a proud expression as he looked at the crowd's shocked questions. He hadn't been so happy in a long time. Ever since the general's residence was established in Great Might City, the city lord's residence had been suppressed. This was a well-known fact. Seeing that Bu Chongqing was in a good mood, everyone stepped forward to congratulate him. Congratulations to the city lord for obtaining such an outstanding talent. The elite team will definitely be able to obtain victory in the devil-slaying competition and win the favor of the imperial city's envoy. That's right, city lord. This time, with the combined strength of our three armies, we will definitely win. We admire the city lord's foresight. Many experts came forward to express their gratitude. However, many of them didn't feel the same way. Their own strength and talent weren't enough, so they didn't want the newcomer to be someone with both talent and strength. One of them glared at Yi Chun, who was in the sky, ferociously, revealing a sinister expression. At that moment, Yi Chun descended from the sky and returned to his residence. All right, disperse. Yes. Everyone obeyed the city lord's command and dispersed. Envoy, here, pick a treasure from the treasure vault immediately and give it to Yi Chun. Yes. The number one emissary quickly made his way to the city lord's treasury. At that moment, Yi Chun, who had returned to his residence, was radiating with golden light like a golden god of war. The increase in strength after this breakthrough had far exceeded Yi Chun's expectations. Clearly, after cultivating the ancient god body, his cultivation path was completely different from ordinary people. As his cultivation deepened, this difference might become greater and greater. Boom! At this moment, a rumble came from Patriarch Yellow Spring's residence at the same time. Yi Chun walked out of the door and looked in the direction of the Patriarch of Hell. He discovered that above the old ancestor's house, purple multicolored light filled the skies. The energy of the Yellow Springs turned into clouds and mists, continuously circling about, moving about like flood dragons. It was extremely shocking. Looks like the Patriarch has already reached the mid-body integration stage. Yi Chun nodded lightly. After waiting for about 15 minutes, the Patriarch flew out. Ha ha ha! As he laughed, his figure constantly teleported. His movement technique was clearly much stronger than before. Fellow Taoist Yi, fellow Taoist Yi. He saw Yi Chun immediately. Patriarch, how is it? Yi Chun asked. How can I hide this from you? After making a breakthrough to the conjoint body integration realm intermediate stage, I've been feeling extremely refreshed, and I really miss the ecstasy of bliss. Thus, I've decided to do something good. Do something good? Yi Chun looked confused, but he soon understood because he saw the Patriarch's face blushing. This old man was obviously plotting something. Since that was the case, Yi Chun did not want to disturb the Patriarch, so he nodded slightly. Ha ha, tacit understanding. After saying that, the Patriarch flew out of the city lord's mansion and flew toward the place of feasting and debauchery. Yi Chun looked at Wu Shuang's residence and saw Sword Qi soaring into the sky, responding to the 7 stars. ZZZ. The 7-star light was triggered by the sword gleam and shone into Yi Wu Shuang's body. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Endless sword Qi surrounded Yi Wu Shuang's body. Ever since he activated the Heavenly Emperor's sword spirit body, Yi Wu Shuang's comprehension of the sword had skyrocketed. Now, he could easily control the sword chi with his divine telekinesis. It was difficult to control the sword with one's heart. At that moment, Yi Wushuang's divine telekinesis was in the sword, and the sword chi flew rapidly, shocking all directions. Oh, great! Yi Chen cheered and subsequently entered the sword formation. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Yi Wushuang's sword chi was extremely sharp as it charged at Yi Chen. Yi Chen smiled lightly and released the golden glaze body. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The sword chi soared into the sky and triggered the seven-star light. It descended again and charged at Yi Chen. Ah! Yi Chen shouted coldly. The golden glaze body radiated and absorbed the sword chi forcefully. The ancient god body was like a furnace. The powerful refining power made Yi Wushuang's sword chi uncontrollable. What? Yi Wushuang's divine telekinesis was controlled by Yi Chen instantly. Can you break through this? Yi Chen's voice transmission entered Yi Wushuang's ears. Yes, Yi Wushuang replied. Subsequently, the Heavenly Emperor's sword appeared behind him. The powerful sword chi charged at Yi Chen like a raging sea. In the outer courtyard, Yi Chen stood on a sword gleam and spun. At that moment, the seven-star sword chi was still circulating in Yi Chen's body. It was trying to break through the meridian limit and soar into the sky again. However, the Heavenly Emperor's sword was Yi Chen's life divine weapon. It was connected to his bloodline. In other words, Yi Chen had instinctive control over the sword chi. That was why Yi Wushuang's divine telekinesis was controlled. Yi Chen wanted to see Yi Wushuang break through to train the Heavenly Emperor's sword's sword spirit psyche. Such training could strengthen the Heavenly Emperor's sword's resistance if it was tainted by some kind of mind in the future. Seven-star Emperor Light. Yi Wushuang absorbed the power of the supreme-grade spirit stones on the table and kept triggering the heavenly starlight. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The starlight flowed on Yi Wushuang's body, and the sword spirit mark appeared between his brows. At that moment, Yi Wushuang seemed to be possessed by the sword god. His aura changed drastically. He flew out of the house and soared into the sky. Buzz, buzz, buzz. At that moment, the seven-star light shone on him. It was as if the sword god had descended with unstoppable might. Great! Yi Chen was overjoyed. As expected, Yi Wushuang did not disappoint him. Come, kill! Yi Wushuang's eyes were sharp. He triggered the seven-star Emperor Light and consolidated the supreme sword form to suppress Yi Chen. Yi Chen did not dare to be careless when he sensed the powerful suppression in Yi Wushuang's sword chi. Ancient god power exploded from the meridian in his body. At the same time, the sword chi that Yi Chen had restrained earlier was released. However, it was connected to Yi Chen's mind and turned into his sword chi. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Two peerless sword chi met in the sky. One was formed by the seven-star Emperor Light, while the other was formed by Yi Chen's ancient god power. They were both supreme grade. Rumble. The sword chi collided in the sky and canceled each other out. It caused the space to shake and the universe to flip. The surrounding rocks crumbled and the ground cracked. The tremors within 100 miles were terrifying. Great! Yi Chen was overjoyed. Yi Wushuang's sword technique had improved qualitatively compared to before. Meanwhile, the spiritual connection between him and Yi Wushuang had become closer. The latter was what Yi Chen valued more. The Heavenly Emperor's sword was his life divine weapon. Their fates were connected and their lives were the same. Master, Yi Wushuang was happy too. He could only stay by Yi Chen's side and even protect Yi Chen when he had more power. Wushuang, it seems like the spiritual realm is much more powerful than the spiritual realm. Our cultivation base has improved by leaps and bounds here. Yes. Chapter 1895. In the General's residence of Dawei City. General, the latest news is that such a phenomenon has been discovered in the city governor's residence. A powerhouse entered the main hall and bowed. He then took out a jade slip from his sleeve. He crushed the jade slip, and a strange light appeared. Meanwhile, it was the heaven and earth phenomenon that Yi Chen had triggered earlier in the light. What's going on? The city governor's residence managed to invite such a powerhouse? A tall man in armor stood in front of him. He was the general of Dawei City's imperial city, Ding. General, the Demon Slayer contest is being supervised by the imperial city's envoy. There can't be any mistakes. I wonder if these foreign guests will cause any problems? Oomph. Have you found out about these people? There are 3 people in the city governor's residence. Our informants have reported that they ascended from the soul stage. Their cultivation bases aren't high, but one of them is called Yi-chun. His strength is shocking. Shocking strength? Haha. I like to see how powerful he is. Soul stage cultivators who want to ascend have to pass the ascension tribulation. Even so, I don't care. But these 3 people aren't at the ascension tribulation. Not at the ascension tribulation? Ding squinted his eyes and continued. Then they must have come from special passage. There's no need to worry. He smirked. As long as they were not ascension tribulation almighties, what did Ding have to fear? Go and supervise the training of the powerhouses in the general's residence. Tell them to work harder, and they'll be rewarded handsomely. However, if anyone slacks and doesn't meet the standards, kick them out immediately. Yes, General. The man nodded and left. Ding felt uneasy when he recalled the phenomenon he had seen. Who is this person? Such a phenomenon would only happen when a body integration powerhouse breaks through, but this person is only at the void refinement stage. This is too strange. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Suddenly, a cloud of black mist appeared in front of him. Ding's heart skipped a beat. Welcome, Sir Envoy. He hurried forward and bowed. Ding, how are the preparations for the Devil Slayer competition in Great Might City? You should know very well that the Devil world is getting restless. They've already broken through the limits of time and space and are having a huge impact on the spirit world. The Spirit Emperor is very concerned about the Devil Slayer competition. Lord Emissary, the arrangements for the Devil Slaying competition in Great Might City are going smoothly. I will do my best to complete the task assigned to me by Emperor Ling. It's good that you know your responsibility. Spirit Emperor can't wait any longer. He needs the strongest cultivators to have a real battle with the people of the demon world. People from the devil world really came to the spiritual world? You don't need to know so much. You're only responsible for selecting talents. Remember, don't be too concerned about a cultivator's background. What we need is strength. Understood. Ding bowed again and watched the envoy leave. After the emissary left, Ding furrowed his brows. It seemed like the emissary was still worried about him. In the end, the emissary warned him not to place too much importance on one's background. He was hinting that the people of the general's mansion might not be able to meet the requirements of the Spirit Emperor. Since that's the case, I'd like to see who in Great Might City can organize a team that's stronger than my general's mansion. With that, Ding sat down cross-legged to regulate his breathing. He was already a full fusion cultivator and was waiting to ascend. Once he did so, he would have a right to enter the Imperial City and become an Imperial Guard. This was the dream of countless cultivators. In the city governor's mansion, Yi-chun and the other 2 continued to cultivate. One by one, they broke through their limits and reached higher attainment levels. Among them, Yi-chun was the one who improved the fastest. Although he had only advanced a minor level, the growth of his foundation was stronger than the average person who had advanced a major level. One day, the city governor personally came to visit. Fellow Yi. Bu Zhangqing walked forward and bowed to Yi-chun. Yi-chun nodded slightly. This person had come to see their cultivation progress. Fellow Yi, has your cultivation been smooth recently? Please provide us with sufficient cultivation resources, city governor. Don't worry about that, fellow Yi. Our city governor's mansion has never lacked cultivation resources. As he spoke, Bu Zhangqing sized Yi-chun up and noticed that there was an invisible aura on Yi-chun's body that gave people great pressure. Even as an early body integration stage cultivator, he was astonished by this burst of pressure. Fellow Yi, there's a requirement for the devil slaying tournament this time. Requirement? Yi-chun looked at Bu Zhangqing. He had not made this clear before. Seeing that Yi-chun seemed displeased, Bu Zhangqing hurriedly said, "This requirement is for you, fellow Yi." Oh, in order to select the most talented people, there's an age requirement for the devil slaying tournament this time. What requirement? under 50 years old. Hearing this, Yi Chen smirked and did not respond. Fellow Yi, of the two people you've brought to the devil-slaying tournament this time, the young man can participate, but let's forget about the old man. The three of us have come together. How can we let it go just because you say so? Yi Chen replied coldly, causing Bu Zhangxing's heart to tremble. That invisible pressure made it difficult for him to breathe. Fellow Yi, I'm telling you this not because I want to stop that old man from participating in the battle, but because there's a formation in this competition that greatly restricts those who are over 50 years old. You should understand what I mean, right? If he agrees, then there's no problem. Otherwise, forgive me for not being able to comply. Thank you for your understanding, fellow Yi. With that, Bu Zhangxing took out many supreme-grade spirit stones and a brocade box. In this brocade box is a golden pill refined by a high-level alchemist in the city governor's mansion. One golden pill is equivalent to 100 supreme-grade spirit stones. Therefore, fellow Yi and your friend must slowly refine it. Don't swallow it directly. All right, Yi Chen agreed coldly and took the brocade box. Then, I'll take my leave. With that, Bu Zhangxing left. Yi Chen reached out and touched the brocade box. Instantly, waves of powerful spiritual energy surged wildly, as if it was going to break through the pill's limit and soar to the heavens. It's powerful indeed. A pill of such strength must require a high-level alchemist. It seemed like the city governor's mansion also had an expert. It's just that the technique is a little crude. Following that, Yi Chen smirked and took out the golden pill. Immortal drift bottle. With the full moon in the sky, it was the best time to use the immortal drift bottle. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The immortal drift bottle flew into the air. Instantly, under the light of the full moon, the immortal drift bottle emitted a rainbow light. Go! Yi Chen tossed the golden pill into the immortal drift bottle. With a flash of light, the golden pill appeared again in an instant. A golden pill without any impurities is 100 times easier to absorb. Chapter 1896. 7 days later, the devil-slaying competition began. The City Lord's mansion provided the ground in the core area of Great Might City, and the General's mansion was in charge of it. It was like a coliseum where many demonic beasts and demons were imprisoned. They were officially the targets of the devil-slaying competition. Everyone. The purpose of this devil-slaying competition is to select talents for the Imperial City. We will select experts from the small border cities around Great Might City to participate in the devil-slaying competition. This is also to show that we treat talents equally. General He Ding personally spoke on the platform. Beside him were the City Lord's mansion, Bu Changqing, and the Imperial City's envoy. Roar! Suddenly, angry roars of demonic beasts came from below. These demonic beasts had been starving for more than 10 days in order to strengthen their wildness and burst out with greater combat power to increase the difficulty of the challenge. Looks like the demonic beasts can't resist their hunger anymore. Everyone get ready. He Ding returned to his seat after he finished speaking. An old man from the City Lord's mansion stepped forward to preside over the meeting. Challengers, please enter the arena. Following his voice, the challenger teams entered the arena. They were the City Lord's mansion, the General's mansion, and the Martial Pavilion. Each force had 3 teams of 3 people. The first challenger team is the first team of the Martial Pavilion. Great, great. Hearing that a team was about to enter the arena, countless experts cheered. The devil-slaying competition was a special mission given by the Imperial City this year, and its importance was self-evident. The people of the Martial Pavilion were all strong and looked like hunters, which made them suitable for fighting against demonic beasts. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The 3 of them flew into the Colosseum. In front of each of them was a stone path, and at the end of the stone path was a passage for cages, which imprisoned violent demonic beasts. Open the cages. Following the old man's order, the guards below opened the cages. Roar. Immediately, the roars of demonic beasts came from 3 directions. They were too hungry, and all of them were body integration realm experts. Human bastards, let me out. The body integration realm demonic beasts had developed intelligence and could speak. facing the three violent demonic beasts. The three experts of the martial pavilion nodded at each other and prepared to fight. Kacha, kacha, kacha. With three crisp sounds, the formation chains imprisoning the three demonic beasts were opened. Dong, dong, dong. The three demonic beasts charged towards the three of them as if they had gone mad. They wanted to devour human blood. Roar. The roar shook the sky, and the stench of blood assaulted them. The three powerhouses of the martial pavilion revealed serious expressions. Yi Chun and the other two stood below the prison, waiting to fight. Ancestor, how do you feel? As expected, this arena has severely suppressed my cultivation. The old ancestor said. Yes. Yi Chun nodded. It was just as Bu Zhangqing had said. It seemed like the Spirit Emperor's age restriction was true. However, Yi Chun still did not understand the purpose behind this. Ancestor, you should go up and take a look. Huh. Then I won't stand on ceremony. I wish the two of you all the best. After saying that, the old ancestor flew to the high platform. Yi Chun's eyes were sharp as he looked at the center of the arena. The three demonic beasts had already surrounded the three people from the martial pavilion. Although the expressions of the three of them did not change, their auras were already suppressed. Master, it looks like the three of them are going to be devoured by the demonic beasts. Looks like Great Might City is not our final destination. Yi Chun's eyes were sharp as he looked at the high platform where the envoy from the Imperial City was sitting. At a glance, Yi Chun noticed that the envoy was surrounded by a layer of strange runes. It was extremely difficult to see through their cultivation base. The Spirit Realm's Imperial City, the Spirit Emperor. Through Bu Zhangqing, Yi Chun already knew that the most powerful person in the Spirit Realm was the Spirit Emperor. Roar. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Ah! In the blink of an eye, painful roars could be heard. The three people from the martial pavilion had already become food for the demonic beasts. Although their cultivation base was also at the fusion stage, compared to the demonic beasts of the same level that had been starved for more than 10 days, they were no match for them in terms of wildness or strength. Sigh. The martial pavilion master revealed a disappointed look. He did not expect the first team to be so weak. This made him very embarrassed. The first team of the martial pavilion has failed. The old man announced the result. On the high platform, the envoy from the Imperial City looked displeased. The first team had failed too quickly and miserably, making him suspicious of the teams below. Lord Envoy, don't worry. This is only the first team of the martial pavilion. There's still our general's residence. He Ding said with a smile. I hope the general's residence won't let me down. Of course. Hearing this, He Ding was very happy. Now, he only wanted the people from the city lord's residence and the martial pavilion to die in the mouths of the demonic beasts. Roar. The demonic beasts below roared crazily, constantly tearing at the corpses of the three people from the martial pavilion. It was a tragic sight. Evil beast, how dare you? The people from the martial pavilion could not bear such humiliation. The second team stepped out. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The movement techniques of these three people were obviously much stronger than the other three. They each released a dart, aiming at the eyes of the three demonic beasts. Swoosh. Soon, the eyes of a demonic beast were hit by the dart, bleeding profusely on the spot. Roar. The demonic beast bared its teeth in anger. How dare you pull teeth from a tiger's mouth? Die. The demonic beast turned to look at the three people and rushed over in a frenzy. The blood fueled its bestial nature, and the desire to devour increased its strength by several times. Dong, dong, dong. The ground shook and the rocks cracked. The demonic beast was a black-furred, saber-toothed tiger. Let's attack together. The three fusion stage cultivators looked at each other and took out their weapons. Roar. The demonic beast attacked furiously. It did not care who was its opponent and suppressed them in all aspects. Meanwhile, the two demonic beasts at the side, after devouring the flesh and blood of the people from the martial pavilion, had a murderous gleam in their eyes. They opened their claws and had recovered a lot of vitality. The feast of massacre has begun. The corners of the demonic beast's mouth curled up slightly. Its cold, snow-white teeth glowed with blood. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Just as everyone was exclaiming, the three demonic beasts attacked together and crushed the three cultivators. Sharp claws slashed across, and blood gushed out like a fountain. The screams of the human cultivators were chilling. They actually know territory power. Yichen saw the truth from the demonic beasts' quick movements. They were using territory power. These demonic beasts were very powerful. Attack together, don't wait. The people from the martial pavilion shouted at the team above. When the people above saw this scene, they were put in a difficult position. They originally wanted to fight these three demonic beasts alone, but now, just as they were hesitating, the martial pavilion master gave them a look, and the three of them could only attack. Seeing this, the Imperial City envoy looked displeased again. Chapter 1897. Release. Just as the powerhouses of the martial pavilion were about to attack, He Ding suddenly issued an order. Yes. The old man nodded slightly and revealed a strange smile. Then, the prison below suddenly opened again. Roar! Suddenly, the roars shook the sky, and even crazier magical beasts were released. The people of the martial pavilion were instantly stunned. They did not expect that they had more people, but so did the number of magical beasts. Moreover, these magical beasts were far more powerful than them. Run. In the end, they could not care less about their dignity and could only run for their lives. Yu. Seeing this scene, the master of the martial pavilion was stunned. These powerhouses actually wanted to run. Wasn't this a joke? Ha ha ha. Sure enough, many spectators began to laugh, especially those from the general's residence. It was obvious that the martial pavilion had been defeated. They had no chance. Trash. Suddenly, the Imperial City envoy stood up with murderous intent in his eyes. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Then, several beams of red light flashed and flew across the beast-fighting coliseum. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Then, the six powerhouses of the martial pavilion fell to the ground one after another. Blood flowed continuously from their throats, and they died on the spot. Seeing this scene, everyone fell silent. The Imperial City envoy was enraged, and blood flowed for hundreds of feet, but no one dared to move. Sir Envoy, please calm down. General He Ding hurriedly stood up and saluted. Great Might City is really a city of trash. The people of the martial pavilion are indeed trash, but the people from the general's residence will not let you down. I hope so. If you do not give me a satisfactory result today, it will be a waste of my time. You know the consequences. Understood. He Ding's back was cold, and he was sweating profusely. He had heard of the Imperial City envoy's swift and decisive nature, but he had never seen it for himself. Today, he finally saw it for himself. The master of the martial pavilion slumped on his seat and almost fainted. He did not expect these trash to not only fail to bring glory to the martial pavilion, but also anger the Imperial City envoy. How could he bear such a sin? The martial pavilion was doomed in the future. Begin the next round immediately, the envoy said coldly. All right. Just as the great general was prepared to let his strong martial artist take the field, he suddenly thought of a problem. The six magical beasts below were biting and devouring the flesh and blood in a frenzy. Just now, he was only concerned about embarrassing the martial pavilion, but he had forgotten that now that the ferocious beasts had appeared at the same time, even his general's residence would find it hard to defend against them. What do you think? The Imperial envoy was clearly impatient as he stared coldly at He Ding. He Ding was gloomy. Could it be that he could only brace himself and go forward? Yichen had noticed He Ding's problem since the beginning. He scoffed himself. Looks like this kid doesn't dare to let his team take the field. The patriarch laughed. Since that's the case, let's go. All right. It seemed like he had been holding it in for too long. It was time to show it. The two of them stood up and walked towards the arena. Fellow Yi, what are you doing? Bu Zhongqing asked in surprise when he saw the two of them walking out. Yicheng glared at him coldly and proceeded forward. No, you can't. Bu Zhongqing stepped forward and stopped them. He seemed very nervous. In this situation, 6 demonic beasts have appeared at the same time. How are the two of you going to deal with them? Do you want my team to be annihilated? Bu Changqing looked at the other teams as he spoke. As expected, the other two teams did not dare to enter the arena. Only Yi Chun and Yi Wushuang wanted to go. We'll naturally succeed if we enter the arena. Why stop us? Yi Chun's aura was overbearing. Even Bu Changqing felt waves of pressure as he trembled all over. However, for the benefit of the city governor's mansion, he had to speak his mind. 6 integration stage demonic beasts. You're sending them to their deaths, fellow Yi. What a joke. Since you don't believe us, why did you invite us? After saying that, Yi Chun walked into the arena with Yi Wushuang. This. Bu Changqing was speechless. He did not expect Yi Chun to be so arrogant. He did not listen to him at all. At that moment, He Ding smiled lightly when he saw Yi Chun and Yi Wushuang walking into the arena. Master Envoy, look. Oh. The Imperial Envoy looked at the arena and realized that Yi Chun and Yi Wushuang were taking the initiative to enter. Interesting. He was immediately interested. Master Envoy, let them enter? You're the host of this competition. You decide. Thank you, Master. He Ding was overjoyed. Initially, he wanted to see his team die at the hands of these 6 demonic beasts. Now, someone was going to die for his team. He would let Yi Chun and the rest enter the arena, even if he had to do it 100 times. All teams of the city governor's mansion can enter. He announced it personally. When everyone heard that, they understood what he meant and felt worried for the city governor's mansion. 6 integration stage demonic beasts. Won't the city governor's mansion be annihilated? This general is really scheming. As long as the city governor's mansion's team is annihilated, the general's mansion will definitely win. He wanted his team to take all the spots. How cunning. Everyone despised Yi Ding's behavior, but they were puzzled when they saw Yi Chun and Yi Wushuang taking the initiative to attack. Yi Chun and Yi Wushuang walked into the arena. Facing 6 integration stage demonic beasts at the same time was a hopeless situation in everyone's eyes. They had no chance of winning, and it was no different from suicide. This, Bu Changqing's forehead was covered in sweat. He was thinking quickly about what to do. Seeing Yi Chun and Yi Wushuang die in the arena, the city governor's mansion would be finished as well. Since that was the case, he might as well fight and see the result. All of you attack. He shouted at the other 2 teams. The other 2 teams revealed a look of horror. They did not expect Bu Changqing to go crazy as well when that brat went crazy. Master City Governor, how are we going to deal with 6 integration stage demonic beasts? Aren't we going to die? Bu Changqing was enraged when he saw how afraid the 2 teams were of death. Yi Chun and Yi Wushuang took the initiative to attack, while you guys are cowering. What is this? You guys are powerhouses from the spirit realm, while Yi Chun and Yi Wushuang are from the spirit realm. Don't you have any shame? The 6 of them lowered their heads at the same time. Naturally, what Bu Changqing said made sense. If the people from the spirit realm could not even compare to spirit realm cultivators, why would they participate in the beast battle? Yes, they accepted the order and jumped into the arena at the same time. Yi Chun shook his head slightly when he saw the other 6 people entering the arena. Not only would these 6 people not be of help, but they might even have the opposite effect and hinder them. Roar! The 6 demonic beasts went crazy when they saw the crowd enter. They were not full yet. These 2 spirit realm cultivators are really going to get us killed. I say, you 2, get out of my way. Don't get in the way of us slaying demons. Yi Chun's eyes turned cold when he heard that. Chapter 1898. What? You still want to attack us? 2 pieces of trash actually want to be the main force. You really don't know shame. If you're from the spirit realm, then just hide in the back and watch. Why are you still pretending to be a big shot? The 6 combatants clearly looked at Yi Chun and his companion with disdain and distrust. They could not believe that Yi Chun, who was only at the void refinement stage, could fight against a high-level conjoint stage magical beast. I don't mind killing a few of you first to make the world peaceful again. Yi Chun suddenly said coldly when the 6 of them were walking toward the magical beast. What? You're courting death. Bastard. The 6 of them were furious. They turned around and glared at Yi Chun. What are you doing? When Bu Changqing saw this, he angrily rebuked the 6 people. Oof. Although the 6 of them were furious, Bu Zhangqing was watching. It would not be good for them to attack Yi Chen all of a sudden, so they could only deal with the magical beast first. Roar! At this moment, the 6 magical beasts were constantly roaring at the 2, as if they could attack at any time. The 3 of us will form the formation. The 3 of you will enter because of them. Good idea. After coming up with a strategy, the 6 of them began to move. Meanwhile, Yi Chen and Wu Shuang stood far away and watched them. Such an idiot deserves to die, Yi Chen mumbled to himself. The crowd mocked Yi Chen when they saw that the duo was not moving. People of the spirit realm are useless after all. Look, they don't even dare to move. What capabilities does a void refinement cultivator have, let alone someone from the spirit realm? Trash. Bu Changqing admits defeat this time. When Bu Zhangqing heard everyone's words, he felt even more depressed. Did the person I sent really make a mistake? He recalled the introduction that the number 1 and number 2 messengers had given him. They had said that Yi Chen was amazing. Now, it seemed like there was nothing special about him at all. He was even afraid of death. But now that things had come to this, he could only hope that the 6 of them could kill the magical beasts and regain face for the City Lord's mansion. Roar! Within the bestial arena, the demonic beasts roared angrily once again. Blood rained down around them as waves of demonic energy suppressed the space around them. Not good, they're releasing their demonic domain. We can't follow in the footsteps of the martial pavilion. I'll destroy it. These 6 people were also experts of the spirit world, and they were not to be trifled with. Kill. One of them wielded a dagger and flew up to provoke the demonic beast. Kikik. One of the magical beasts laughed coldly. What are you laughing at? The dagger-wielding cultivator asked. I'm laughing at you for being such an idiot. You sure are quick to court death. The cultivator flew into a rage and threw his dagger straight at the demonic beast. Kill. The magical beast gave an order to the 2 magical beasts beside him. He didn't expect that the 2 magical beasts would actually listen to his orders. Whoosh, whoosh. 2 black shadows constantly flickered. The 2 magical beasts on the side were obviously more agile, and their speed was extremely fast. No! The cultivator immediately sensed danger approaching him. But by the time he reacted, his body had already been torn apart by the claws of the 2 demonic beasts. Chi. 2 sharp claws slashed across. Inside the domain, the cultivator's body and spirit had long been controlled by the demonic beasts. It was just that he hadn't realized it yet. Yi Chen was not surprised to see that because these pieces of trash were too weak to sense danger. It was inevitable that they would die. Ha! I didn't expect those 2 brats to be so patient. Seeing that the city governor's mansion's team had lost a powerhouse, General He Ding was very happy. He was even happier when he saw that Yi Chen and Wu Shuang had no intention of doing anything. The same went for the spectators below. They all thought that Yi Chen and Wu Shuang were afraid and did not dare to attack. It seems like the city governor's mansion has no hope at all. After those 6 people die in the hands of the demonic beasts, the 2 pieces of trash behind them will probably be annihilated. Needless to say, those at the spirit state have a lowest cultivation base. There's no way they can survive. I wonder what they're so arrogant about. They don't have any ability, and they're just pretending? The crowd revealed a look of disdain at Yi Chen and Wu Shuang again. At this moment, on the battlefield, 3 people were still busy setting up the formation. There were only 2 cultivators left to lure the demonic beasts into the formation. You 2, hurry up. The 2 did not want to attack at first, but as powerhouses, they naturally understood that if they did not lure the demonic beasts into the formation as soon as possible, they would all die here. Kill. The 2 shouted and charged at the demonic beasts at the same time. Go. The leading demonic beast sat at the back, watching everything before it coldly. Subsequently, it clenched its sharp claws suddenly. Immediately, a powerful demonic energy attracted the powerhouse who had been dismembered. Swoosh. Crack. Under everyone's watchful eyes, it directly tore the powerhouse's body into pieces and devoured it. The crowd was shocked to see that. The demonic beasts were indeed extremely brutal. Hurry up and attack. The people at the back had already finished setting up the formation and shouted to the people in front. The people in front attacked one after another and then ran to the back. Thud, thud, thud. The demonic beasts at the back did not care about the formation in front at all and pounced at the two of them. At the same time, the leading demonic beast's eyes emitted a cold gleam. It was ready to kill. Activate the formation. Seeing that the two demonic beasts in front of them had entered the range of the formation, the three people at the back channeled their spiritual power at the same time and activated the formation. Rumble. When the formation was activated, a layer of light surrounded the two demonic beasts. Roar. No matter how the demonic beasts struggled, they could not get out of the formation. Ha ha ha. The three of them laughed. As expected, these beasts were still too stupid. They could be trapped easily. Kill. Just as one of them shouted and wanted to kill the monster in the formation, he could only say one word before he could no longer speak because the sharp claws had already pierced his throat. Kill. What? The leading demonic beast revealed its sharp teeth and asked with a sneer. Thud. The powerhouse was thrown to the ground like a dead dog. Swoosh. With a wave of its sharp claws, the formation was instantly shattered. The other powerhouses revealed a look of horror. Only now did they realize that the difference in strength between them and the demonic beasts in front of them was like heaven and earth. Cluck, cluck, cluck. The leading demonic beast bared its sharp teeth at them and smiled strangely. Spare us, spare us. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Just as they were kneeling on the ground and begging for mercy, the leading demonic beast moved in a flash. In a flash, the rest of them fell to the ground and their heads rolled off. Phew! It took a deep breath and spat out a mouthful of blood. It turned around and bared its bloody teeth at Yi Chun and the other person. Cluck, cluck, cluck. How would these idiots know that the two of you are the powerhouses? I'll give you a quick death if the two of you can satisfy me. The leading demonic beast said to Yi Chun in the coldest voice. Is it worth being so proud of killing a few mongrels? Yi Chun lifted his head slowly. There was a cold gleam in his eyes as he stared at the leading demonic beast. End of this chapter. Chapter 1899. What? 6 spiritual realm powerhouses were killed in an instant? Everyone stared at the arena with their eyes wide open. Although many people thought that the people from the city governor's residence were not powerful, they were spiritual realm powerhouses after all. They were hired by the city governor's residence to fight demonic beasts, but the demonic beasts this time aren't ordinary. 6 demonic beasts appeared at the same time. It's getting out of hand. Sigh. Collect the bodies of the 2 below. The only thing we can do now is to wait for the 3 teams from the general's residence. Everyone shook their heads, thinking that Yi Chun and Yi Wushuang would definitely die. They were waiting for the powerhouses from the general's residence to clean up this mess. Ding was very proud of himself. Sir Envoy, I'll get the people from the general's residence to deal with these demonic beasts soon. I'm sure they'll satisfy you. There's no rush. Aren't there 2 more down there? Ding was stunned. He did not understand why the Imperial City Envoy would care so much about those 2. What was the use of void training stage guests from the spirit realm? However, it was the Imperial City Envoy's intention after all. Naturally, he would not deny it. Yes. Ding nodded and shouted, hurry up and die. Don't waste my time. Yi Chun squinted and looked at the high platform. He realized that it was Ding who was boasting shamelessly. Whoosh! Suddenly, Yi Chun's eyes released the Samadhi True Fire and charged at Ding. Ding did not expect that and retreated immediately. However, he did not expect the Samadhi True Fire to chase after him as if it had a life of its own. Damn it! He shouted and circulated the spiritual energy in his body before throwing a punch. Rumble! The Samadhi True Fire and Ding's fist collided. Subsequently, the fist ray dissipated, but the flame energy was still burning, continuing to attack Ding. This. Ding turned pale with fright. How could he have imagined that these 3 tiny balls of true fire contained the power of an ancient god? They grew and multiplied endlessly. How could he possibly destroy them? At that moment, the Imperial City envoy revealed a smile. He did not expect the real powerhouse to be an outsider. Extinguish. After all, the general's residence was the host. He was embarrassed to be fooled like that. The envoy waved his hand, and the Samadhi true fire was extinguished. Although the flame had been extinguished, He Ding still had lingering fear in his heart. He got up immediately and looked at Yi Chun and Yi Wuxuan below. The flame energy clearly came from below. He wanted to know who exactly it was. Who started the fire? Me. His reply shook the heavens, and an ice-cold wind assaulted He Ding. He Ding retreated once more, a chill running down his spine. The killing intent in that aura was too obvious. He still wanted to act up, but the messenger behind him gave him a look, and he didn't dare to move. Fight now. He Ding endured the fear in his heart and shouted. Kakik. Seeing this scene, the leader of the demonic beasts suddenly laughed. Who would have thought that you could actually make great General He Ding so frightened? His frightened look is too good to look at. I really want to admire it again. The words of the demonic beast leader made He Ding feel ashamed. As the great general, he was also at the peak of the body integration realm. Yet, he was actually humiliated by a foreign guest at the void refinement realm. You talk too much nonsense. I'll only complete my mission after I get rid of you. Yi Chen's lips curled up slightly as he looked at the leader of the demonic beasts. The eyebrows of the leader of the demonic beasts furrowed, and he glared at Yi Chen. Previously, he didn't care about the void refinement realm cultivator before him. However, when he saw that Yi Chen could intimidate the peak of the body integration realm, He Ding, and displayed such domineering confidence, he knew that he might have to be more serious. In his opinion, as long as he could defeat Yi Chen and take the initiative to lose to He Ding's team, he would have a chance to leave. This was the agreement he had with He Ding. He kill. The leader of the demonic beasts waved his sharp claws, and the other 5 demonic beasts attacked one after another, surrounding Yi Chun and Wuxuan. Roar. The 5 demonic beasts kept roaring. They were all powerhouses at the body integration realm, and they had absolute confidence against the 2 people at the void refinement realm. Devour them. Yes, devour these 2 human bastards. Devour. The demonic beasts kept cursing. Evil creatures, how dare you go against the heavens? Yi Chun glared angrily, and the ancient god energy swept across the area. A supreme majesty shocked the 5-body integration realm demonic beasts. What's going on? Do you guys feel that power that makes your hearts tremble? This, impossible. The demonic beasts sensed Yi Chen's heavenly emperor's might at the same time. The might came from his bones. Ever since he had cultivated the ancient god power, Yi Chen's aura was getting stronger. He was regaining his dominance back then. Damn it, devour him. The 5 demonic beasts were shocked by Yi Chen. They were confused and furious. They charged at him together, wanting to devour him. Don't even think about it. Before Yi Chen could attack, Yi Wuxuang's sword Qi had already attacked. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The sword Qi was extremely sharp, and the demonic beasts that were charging stopped instantly. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The 5 demonic beasts bared their sharp teeth at Yi Wuxuang at the same time. Evil creature, how dare you disrespect master? Die. A long sword appeared in Yi Wuxuang's hand. It was extremely cold and arrogant. The 5 demonic beasts took a good look at Yi Wuxuang at the same time and revealed cold smiles. This brat's meat must be delicious. Of course it's delicious. I can smell it. Kill him. The demonic beasts revealed greedy expressions as they walked toward Yi Wuxuang at the same time. One arrogant brat. He's doomed this time. Look at his master, and you can tell this brat's character. He's seeking death. I really don't know what he's thinking. Isn't it better to surrender and leave this to the general's residence? The people discussed. Nobody thought that Yi Chun and Yi Wuxuang would win. Go to hell, He Ding mumbled to himself. Meanwhile, the city governor, Bu Chongqing, was shaking his head. All 6 of them had died earlier. Could the 2 of them really do it? He had long lost trust in the messengers that he had sent out to search for powerhouses. Therefore, it was only natural that he could not trust Yi Chun and Yi Wushuang's abilities. Thud, thud, thud. All of a sudden, the demonic beasts began running madly. They were extremely fast as they charged at Yi Wushuang. Wushuang, remember that inspiration. Yes, master. What Yi Chun said seemed like an illusion, but Yi Wushuang understood the logic behind it. The sword chi flowed through his body, and the sword's spirit appeared again. Heavenly Emperor Sword, Universal Slash. Yi Wushuang flew into the sky as the Heavenly Emperor Sword spirit appeared behind him. The majestic aura was like that of a god. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Subsequently, the sword chi came on its own. It contained the Heavenly Emperor Sword intent. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. It was just a sword, but it sliced through the air and went straight for the demonic beast's sharp claws. Blood splattered, and the power of the sword shocked everywhere. End of this chapter. Chapter 1900. Roar. The demonic beasts roared. The demonic beasts that were injured by the Heavenly Emperor's Sword intent felt the sword chi entering their bodies and lingering for a long time. The pain that followed was the most difficult to deal with. Everyone was shocked. They had thought that this brat was dead for sure. However, at this moment, they did not know why they were surprised when they saw the demonic beasts roaring in pain. Although they were from the spirit realm, there were differences in ability. Great Might City's level was not high enough, and the spectators here were just ordinary people. The demonic beast leader glared at Yi Wushuang coldly when he saw that. He could see an extremely sharp and majestic sword intent on Yi Wushuang's body. The sword intent was so profound that even the demonic beast leader felt intimidated. How was this possible? Who exactly is this person? He activated his spirit eye to observe Wushuang. He kept seeing waves of sword chi surrounding him. The sword chi was hidden and powerful, which confused him. Kill him. The demonic beast leader shouted angrily at the demonic beasts in front of him who had stopped. Yes, the demonic beasts also felt insulted. The person before them clearly did not have a high cultivation base. How could he hurt their bodies? It did not make sense. They wanted revenge. Thud, thud, thud. The demonic beast's footsteps were heard again. The ground shook, and the powerful aura was chilling. This is what I've been waiting for. Yi Chun sneered in his heart. The demonic beast's attention was all on Yi Wushuang, while he was already preparing a fatal attack. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. A whirlwind surrounded Yi Chun. It was the sword chi condensed from ancient god power. Something's wrong. Stop. Suddenly, the demonic beast leader realized that something was wrong and immediately gave the order. However, the demonic beasts had already moved quickly. Naturally, they could not stop at such a high speed. Moreover, they were already enraged by Yi Wushuang. They could not care less. They just wanted to devour the person in front of them. Roar. Kill. The demonic beasts roared while Wushuang shouted to kill. At that moment, both sides did not give way. The ultimate attack was right before them. That's it. Yi Chun's eyes suddenly emitted an extremely cold gleam. The ancient god sword chi condensed to its limit behind him. Whoosh! His figure flew up instantly. With a wave of his sword finger, the sword chi split into 5. So. The sword chi turned into flowing light, carrying a cold, killing intent, and instantly locked onto the vital parts of the 5 demonic beasts. At the juncture of life and death, the 5 demonic beasts also sensed the arrival of the killing intent. Roar! They released their strongest powers and condensed a protective barrier to protect their lives. Hoo. Powerful demonic energy soared into the sky as the 5 demonic beasts combined their powers to create a powerful barrier. At this moment, the spectators outside still didn't know what had happened. They were all questioning the behavior of the magical beasts. What's going on with this magical beast? It was about to devour that brat, but it stopped? Not only did they stop, but they're also building some protective energy shield together. What are they doing? They're both body integration, stage, devilish beasts, so it'll be a piece of cake for them to deal with those two. In the midst of everyone's confusion, 3 streaks of light pierced through the void. Z. With a burst of energy fluctuations, the three figures disappeared from the void. What do you mean? Just as the three streaks of light pierced the protective barrier created by the five demonic beasts, the entire world seemed to freeze. This was the sign of the ancient god force activating. Chi, chi, chi. The flowing sword chi pierced through the ancient god stage and accurately struck the five demonic beasts' throats. Everything stopped. The roars of the demonic beasts, their movements, and even their breaths all stopped. The leader of the demonic beasts stared at everything in front of him with widened eyes. It was his first time seeing such a high-level sword chi. Are you really at the void refinement stage? He asked Yi-chun with a trembling voice. Full void refinement stage. Yi-chun responded coldly. That's impossible. Just as the leader of the demonic beasts roared, the five demonic beasts in front of him seemed to be released from the ice, but what awaited them was them falling to the ground. Dong, dong, dong. With a heavy thud, none of the five demonic beasts were spared, dying on the spot. A void refinement stage, cultivator killing a body integration stage, demonic beast in seconds. In an instant, this unbelievable information entered everyone's mind. They were stunned, unable to accept what they had seen and heard. It's your turn. These simple words were like a curse from the Grim Reaper, causing the leader of the demonic beasts to keep retreating. He trembled as he looked at Yi-chun, who was slowly walking over. The fear in the bottom of his heart radiated from his eyes. The look in his eyes said everything. What do you mean? Look, the most powerful high-level conjoint stage demonic beast is retreating. He's only facing a void refinement stage guest. Why? It's as if he's seeing the Grim Reaper. His eyes are filled with despair. Everyone was dumbfounded again. How could a void refinement stage guest force a high-level conjoint stage demonic beast to retreat? Even a master at the full success conjoint stage could not do this, right? At this moment, everyone began to think. Was it because Yi-chun was very powerful and he was hiding his strength? They shook their heads. They could not believe this conclusion. What's going on? He-ding gnashed his teeth in hatred. Originally, he wanted to rely on this performance to rise up. As long as his team won and received the recommendation of the envoy of the Imperial City, he would be able to obtain a lot of glory. In fact, if his team made a contribution in the competition against the Demon Realm, he might even be summoned by the Spirit Emperor. How glorious would that be? However, all of this was destroyed by one person, and it was Yi-chun. This is impossible. He must have cheated. He-ding grumbled. What cheated? Bu Zhongqing, who was so frustrated that he fell to the ground with his eyes closed, waiting for the result of his failure, suddenly became energetic when he heard He-ding's words. He jumped up and looked at the Colosseum. He realized that Yi-chun was not dead. Not only that, but he was also forcing the most powerful demonic beast to retreat. Is this real? I'm not dreaming, am I? Bu Zhongqing rubbed his eyes. Subsequently, he laughed out loud. Ha ha, I didn't expect those two idiot envoys to bring me a god. Never in his wildest dreams would he have thought that the guest in front of him was the key to his rise. At this moment, in the Colosseum, the great demonic beast was forced to the wall. There was no way out. At this moment, the great demonic beast was no longer as arrogant as before. Instead, he was a yes man because he knew that the person before him was too powerful. He could not afford to offend him at all. That kind of majestic suppression made him feel like he was facing a supreme, celestial emperor. Chapter 1901. The great demonic beast could no longer resist Yi-chun's heavenly emperor might. It knelt on the ground and begged for mercy. Unfortunately, only the victors can survive in this Colosseum. Yi-chun slashed with his finger. Instantly, the heavenly emperor's sword swept across, and the great demonic beast's head flew into the sky. Thump! As the great demonic beast's head fell to the ground, the entire place fell silent. The people who were discussing how Yi-chun would die at the hands of the great demonic beast were dumbfounded. Guests? Spirit adept? Void refinement cultivator? The team that everyone thought was the weakest had eliminated two conjoint body-level demonic beasts, and even made the great demonic beast kneel on the ground and beg for mercy. What kind of strength was this? This? The old man in charge looked at Yi Ding as though he was waiting for his orders. Very good. Suddenly, the imperial city envoy revealed a smile. He was very satisfied with the result. As expected, Yi Chun and Xiao Luo did not disappoint him. Lord Envoy, Yi Ding was at a loss of what to do. Initially, he wanted his team to show their faces in front of the Lord Messenger. Yi Chun and Su Xiaoshou were just tools made by the great demonic beast. But now, the tools had become the master. His team didn't even have the chance to show their faces. How could he be willing to accept such an outcome? Lord Envoy, say no more. I want these too. The envoy interrupted Yi Ding. Lord Envoy, you can't. The general's residence's team hasn't gone up yet. There's no need to go up. Obviously, the other teams from the city lord's residence and the martial pavilion were all local teams in the spiritual realm. However, they did not give the imperial city envoy any surprises. They even made him feel bored. Therefore, he lost confidence in the general's residence's team. Lord Envoy, I guarantee that my team is 100 times stronger than them. Oh, can you really guarantee that? The imperial city envoy suddenly turned to look at Yi Ding. The latter's body trembled as he retreated. His eyes were too cold and murderous. Yes, how can the cultivators of my general's residence be inferior to two spiritual realm guests? For his own benefit, Yi Ding would take this gamble. He did not believe that he could not win. All right, then let them show their faces. However, if they fail, you know the consequences. This subordinate understands. The great general, Yi Ding, had risked his life this time to earn some face for the general's residence. He walked to the high platform and looked down at Yi Chun. Yi Chun, although you guys defeated the magical beasts, you didn't defeat the team from my general's mansion. Upon hearing that, Yi Chun knew that this guy was going to play tricks. So, haha, that's why it's very simple. My general's mansion's team wants to compete with you. If you can defeat any one of them, I'll recognize you as the champion of this beast fight. Hearing this, Bu Changqing's face darkened. His originally elated mood was now suppressed again. Yi Ding, what do you mean by this? Does my city lord's mansion's team need your approval? Bu Changqing, this is the Lord Emissary's will. Are you not convinced? What? Bu Changqing looked at the imperial city emissary, and his heart trembled. If this was really the emissary's intention, he would naturally obey. The imperial city envoy nodded slightly at Bu Changqing. All right then, Bu Changqing had no choice. His old face was twisted. Everything was supposed to be a pleasant surprise, but now it had turned into sorrow. Naturally, he knew that the cultivation base of the general's mansion's team was top-notch. He even heard that there were great perfection conjoint stage powerhouses among them. Facing such people, how could Yi Chun and Yi Ding deal with them? Yi Ding clearly did not want his team to win. However, he had no choice but to endure it. The general's mansion's team entered the arena. Yi Ding shouted toward the people below. Thud, thud, thud. With heavy footsteps, the three teams of the general's mansion entered the arena. They stood before Yi Chun, flaunting their prowess. Everyone's eyes were filled with disdain. They were all powerhouses born and raised in the spiritual realm. Their cultivation base was profound, and their foundations were extraordinary. They were qualified to stand here. However, Yi Chun and Yi Ding were spirit stage trash in their eyes. They did not even have the right to fight here. You two pieces of trash, what kind of demonic spell did you use to make that great magical beast submit? Now you're still refusing to leave. You're courting death. Kneel on the ground immediately and surrender, and we'll spare your lives. This is your last chance to live. Otherwise, the great general has already given the order to kill without mercy. The leaders of the three teams sneered at Yi Chun. Yi Chun narrowed his eyes slightly. He did not want to waste time with these idiots, but their words triggered his killing intent. Yi Chun, choose any of the three teams. As long as you win, you'll be the champion. If you can't, don't blame me. As he spoke, Yi Ding shot a look at the three teams below. It was obvious that he wanted them to kill Yi Chun. The three teams nodded slightly, accepting Yi Ding's meaning. Ha ha, they're finished this time after angering the great general. That's right. Spirit stage bumpkins dare to be arrogant in the spiritual realm. So what if they defeated the magical beast? They're still going to die in the great general's hands. This is the consequence of challenging the spiritual realm. **M**. Many of the spectators did not have a good impression of Yi Chun and He Ding. They thought that spirit stage people should be those with low cultivation bases and would bow and scrape to others. Seeing Yi Chun like this, not only did he not have the slightest bit of humility, but he was also extraordinarily domineering. This destroyed the sense of superiority that the people of the spiritual realm had. Therefore, they wanted to see Yi Chun and He Ding defeated here. Everyone thought that Yi Chun and He Ding would definitely choose the team with the lowest cultivation base. Even so, the lowest cultivation base in that team was at the advanced conjoint body stage. Compared to Yi Chun and He Ding, the suppression of their cultivation base was still obvious. I don't dare choose. Let's watch a good show this time. Seeing that Yi Chun and He Ding did not move after a long time, many people jeered. Trash, if you don't dare to choose, kneel and admit defeat immediately. He Ding could not wait to win the title of champion. He shouted at Yi Chun below. Yi Chun looked at He Ding angrily. The latter was stunned. He did not expect Yi Chun to be so domineering. When he recalled how he was suppressed by the Samadhi true fire, his heart trembled. Choose, isn't it? Simple. He turned to look at the three teams and said, all three teams come at me together. I don't want to waste time. What? Hearing this choice, the crowd instantly froze. Was this kid arrogant to the heavens? All three teams together. Yi Chun's choice was clear. The spectators of the spiritual realm revealed angry expressions. This was a provocation and an insult to the cultivators of the spiritual realm. **M**. Kill him. This can't be tolerated. Let him die. Countless cultivators roared, hoping to kill Yi Chun. He Ding, on the other hand, revealed a sinister smile. This was the result he wanted to see. Chapter 1902. Oh, very good. You're ambitious. He Ding was not as angry as he had imagined. He even praised Yi Chun, but he was overjoyed. In his opinion, the three teams attacking together was a clear act to the higher-ups. Since the other party wanted to die, of course, He Ding would not stop them. Master Envoy, this is Yi Chun's own choice. I'm not bullying him, am I? He Ding turned to look at the Imperial City Envoy. After all, Yi Chun was someone the Imperial City Envoy wanted. It would not do to kill him without the envoy's permission. Yes, no problem. The envoy's goal was very clear, and that was to find the cream of the crop among the younger generation. It didn't matter if they were from the spirit realm, or anyone else. As long as they were below the age of 50 and their talent and strength caught the envoy's eye, everything else wouldn't be a problem. Now, Yi Chun had taken the initiative to challenge the three teams. Such arrogance was what he wanted to see. If he succeeded, he could bring Yi Chun to the Imperial City. If he failed, it would mean that Yi Chun was not qualified. No matter what the outcome was, it would not affect the envoy's mission. He had no reason to stop him. Thank you, Master Envoy. He Ding revealed a proud smile. To him, everything was going according to plan. The general's office was going to rise. Go easy on them, understand? He Ding gave the three teams below a look. He said to go easy, but the meaning in his eyes was clear. He wanted to kill them. After all, Yi Chun and Yi Chun had defeated the demonic beasts. Moreover, they had an advantage in age compared to his people. Leaving them alive would always be a disaster. Yes, the spirit realm powerhouses in the beast fighting coliseum bowed and revealed a cold smile. The three teams turned to look at Yi Chun at the same time. Master, Yi Wushuang wanted to attack, but he was stopped by Yi Chun. Just wait for my order. Yes. Hearing Yi Chun's words, Yi Wushuang flew back and made way. Huh? Everyone was stunned again. Was this kid going to fight three teams alone? Such an arrogant action shocked many people and made more people reveal expressions of hatred. They were all from the spirit realm. They could not see an outsider being so arrogant. Damn it! The spirit realm powerhouses in the Beast Coliseum had the same thought. They were all conjoint stage powerhouses, and some were even great conjoint stage almighties. Of course, They were unwilling to be looked down upon by Yi Chun like this. Kill this kid. You go. Yes. The team leader of the first squadron gave the order to kill a cultivator. This person was a late body integration realm cultivator. Ha ha ha. What a reckless foreigner. A spatial tempering realm cultivator facing a body integration realm cultivator is bound to die. Everyone laughed out loud. They were waiting for Yi Chen's painful death. Yi Chen stood in front of everyone, waiting for the spirit realm powerhouse's challenge. You're still not going to act. However, it was clear that the spirit realm powerhouse did not want to take the initiative to attack. This would make him seem like the challenger, the one who could not keep his cool. You are the challenger. Ha! You really think of yourself as a human? Our side has defeated the great demonic beast, but what about you? What else could he do besides provoking others here? Idiot! You! The spirit realm powerhouse was completely enraged by Yi Chen's evaluation. He did not care who came first. As long as he killed Yi Chun, he would complete his mission. Kill! The spirit realm powerhouse charged forward quickly. His entire body was surrounded by a powerful psionic power. This was the psionic power of the spirit realm. Its strength was far above the spirit realm. However, as a heavenly emperor, although Yi Chen's cultivation base had not fully recovered, he could see all kinds of flaws in this person at a glance. Why aren't you dodging my attack? If you look down on me like this, you'll die without a burial. The powerhouse was incomparably furious. Psionic power gathered on his fist. If it was a little stronger, it would be a one-hit kill. Zap, zap, zap. Suddenly, the surrounding space fell into the control of ancient god power. The powerhouse's figure suddenly froze. He felt that his speed was still very fast, but in Yi Chen's eyes, everything had changed. His speed had become incomparably slow, not worth mentioning at all. Netherworld extermination, kill. Yi Chen stretched out his arm and pointed his sword finger forward. Immediately, a red psionic power shot out. In the eyes of the powerhouse, Yi Chen's movements were so slow, but he could not stop it. This was the space-time control of the ancient god space. What's going on? His movements, as the powerhouse's figure continued to approach Yi Chen, he felt that something was wrong. Everything became strange, as if his understanding of the surrounding space had deviated. However, it became extremely difficult for him to adjust. His figure still could not stop moving forward until he saw the red psionic power that Yi Chen shot out arrive in front of him. No, I have to dodge it. He finally realized the seriousness of the problem. The opponent's red light was accurate and aimed at his throat. However, his body had become incomparably heavy. The simplest dodging became the most difficult thing that he could not do. Swoosh! He watched as the red light slashed across his throat, but he did not feel a trace of pain. This is impossible. Is this all fake? Is it an illusion? The powerhouse's lips curled into a smile. He thought that this was an illusion. As long as he charged through, he could kill Yi Chen. No, this is suddenly space reversed, and the scene he saw was upside down. He even saw the shocked expressions of everyone. Although it was upside down, he could clearly see that their expressions were shocked and puzzled. He was dumbfounded and seemed to realize something. The truth was right in front of him. Boom, boom, boom. The powerhouse's head was rolling in the arena. At the last moment of his death, he did not even know how he died. This was because Yi Chen's extremely slow movements were, in fact, extremely fast. The battle had long ended, but he was still immersed in his plan to kill Yi Chen. What happened? It was another shocking question. The ancient god space was mysterious. Seeing this scene, the spirit realm powerhouses who were still waiting for the result frowned. Especially the powerhouses who were facing Yi Chen in the arena. They were even more shocked. A late-stage fusion stage powerhouse died in front of everyone before he could even touch Yi Chen. Many people did not even see how he died. What did you do? The leader of the first team roared at Yi Chen. I just sent him on his way. Yi Chen replied coldly without any emotion, making the powerhouse feel the whisper of the god of death. Don't be intimidated by him. Kill him. The leaders of the two teams behind shouted at the powerhouse. What are you doing? Go. He ding shouted at the same time. Plop. However, The leader of the first team felt his knees go weak, and he directly knelt on the ground. Chapter 1903. Seeing the actions of the leader of the first team, the other two teams and He Ding were all dumbfounded. A dignified team leader, a cultivator at the pinnacle of the body integration stage, was actually kneeling to avoid tempering cultivator from the spirit realm. Seeing such a godly plot, not only the direct beneficiaries, but the audience was also dumbfounded. What's going on? Is this the general's estate? As soon as he said this, He Ding's old face instantly turned red. This was his team. It was too embarrassing. Oomph. The imperial city envoy revealed a disdainful sneer, obviously thinking that He Ding was causing trouble for him. He Ding could not accept such an outcome. This was the worst possible outcome. What are you doing? He Ding flew to the edge of the stands and roared at the powerhouses in the field. Remember your identities. You are powerhouses from the spiritual realm, elites selected from thousands of people by me. You are the representatives of the general's estate. If you dare to retreat, kill without mercy. The order to kill was issued. Instantly, many archers came to the edge of the stands. In an instant, the situation became tense. This was He Ding's last resort. He could not watch Yi Chun win the championship so easily. All his plans would be ruined in the hands of this person. Even He Ding was scared off by Yi Chen's true samadhi fire. If this story was spread, the general's estate would completely lose its prestige. No one would be willing to listen to the orders of the general's estate. Seeing this scene, the other two team leaders were anxious. They looked at the leader of the first team in front of them. What are you doing? Get up. Their voices were very cold, clearly carrying a threatening tone. Even so, the leader of the first team still knelt on the ground, not daring to move. Yi Chen was in front, coldly watching everything that was happening. Although it was absurd, it brought Yi Chen some amusement. He can't get up. What do you mean? He can't get up. Yi Chen's words made the two team leaders behind him confused. Seeing how the leader of the first team was acting, they had no choice but to attack. A mere spirit stage ascendant is flaunting his prowess and acting mysterious in front of us. What a joke. No need to say more. Kill him. He Ding was already enraged. If they didn't act, not only would they not receive their rewards, but they would also be ridiculed and looked down upon by the surrounding spectators. So. The two of them moved at an extremely fast speed. It was obvious that they were aiming to kill with a single strike. Master, Yi Wushuang wanted to attack. Don't worry, Wushuang. There will be a chance for you to strike. Yes. Naturally, Yi Wushuang trusted Yi Chun completely. His words were the Heavenly Emperor's decree. Yi Chun, you're too arrogant. You should be torn into pieces. Kill. Their voices became extremely cold, and layers of energy fluctuations began to appear in the surrounding space. These were none other than the domains created by their cultivation bases at the pinnacle of the body integration stage. In this domain, their power would continue to grow, while Yi Chen's power would continue to weaken. Yi Chen's eyes narrowed. He immediately saw through the territory power before him. Golden pupils flame. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Yi Chen's eyes emitted the glow of flames, and his entire body was enveloped in the power of fire. Having cultivated the ancient god body, his cultivation method was already different from ordinary people. Even the power of true fire would not harm his body. Instead, it would form a layer of flame armor to protect his body. Bring it on. The corner of Yi Chen's lips curled up slightly, revealing a devilish smile. Kill. The two captains had completely lost their humanity. They only had one goal, to tear Yi Chen into pieces. However, they had no idea what kind of terrifying hell they were about to face. Swoosh, swoosh. Suddenly, their divine weapons pierced Yi Chen's body. Ha, we did it. This idiot thinks he's invincible just because he performed some tricks and got some power of fire. In reality, he's nothing. He's too naive to think that he can scare us away with the power of fire. Both of them thought that they had succeeded. The divine weapons had indeed pierced Yi Chen's body. Below the spectator stand, many cultivators nodded and revealed proud smiles. They were all people of the spirit realm. Although many of them disliked the general's office's orders and methods, people of the spirit realm were still very lowly in their eyes. As expected, this kid is useless. He might have used some spell to confuse the others. That's right. Void refinement stage is trash in our spirit realm. Why is he pretending to be a god? This is great. What kind of trick is he playing? He's playing with fire. Ha ha ha. Everyone's opinion was the same. Yi Chun would eventually die because of his own conceit and incompetence. Swoosh. The two captains pushed forward with their divine weapons. They wanted to pierce through Yi Chun's body completely. Suddenly, they realized that something was wrong because their divine weapons could not move forward. What's going on? The two of them looked at each other. Their divine weapons were made of supreme-grade, meteoric iron and contained domain power. Once they relied on their own spiritual power, they could completely pierce through steel and rocks. Why could they not move forward? Ha ha ha. Yi Chun let out a strange laugh. This laughter was like the whisper of the god of death, causing the two full integration stage powerhouses to fall into spiritual fear. That voice. Two pieces of trash dare to call themselves spirit realm powerhouses? Ha ha ha. Yi Chun's laughter became more and more terrifying. It was like a sword of ice that could penetrate deep into their hearts, causing their spirits to fall into an icy hell. They did not know what that soul-freezing fear was. This kind of aura had already surpassed the common sense of martial Tao, because this was the pressure of a heavenly emperor that only a heavenly emperor could release. This kind of pressure was invisible, but it had substance. The two of them had already fallen into Yi Chun's heavenly emperor pressure. His cultivation base was at the void refinement stage, but his spirit power and primordial spirit were the spirit of a heavenly emperor. This person is strange. We can't hesitate. All right. The two powerhouses finally could not wait any longer. They released their ultimate power one after another. They did not even hesitate to harm their own cultivation methods to stimulate their potential. Rumble. Immediately, spiritual power gathered around the two of them. Like ferocious tigers released from their cages, they soared into the sky. Boom, boom, boom. The surrounding space rapidly shattered. Between heaven and earth, the wind and clouds surged, shocking everyone. In the midst of everyone's shock, they realized that these two powerhouses were so powerful that Yi Chun had no chance of survival. Although they were also shocked by Yi Chun's pressure, even if they were very far away, this pressure was still effective. Thank you for your cooperation. It's time to end this. However, a cold and unpredictable voice descended at the same time. Chapter 1904. Yes, it's time for you to end this. Both of them flew into the sky at the same time. Powerful spiritual power surrounded them. The spiritual power had reached its limit and could explode at any time. They could kill a beginner stage conjoint body cultivator instantly, let alone a void refinement cultivator. Rumble. Heaven and earth were completely immersed in the duo's spiritual power explosion. It was a purgatory, a furnace, a killing space that could crush everything. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The territory power continued to spread. At this moment, the spectators finally understood how terrifying these two people were. A perfected conjoint body almighty is too powerful. Retreat now, or we'll be caught in the crossfire. Countless cultivators ran back. Many of them even used their movement techniques, as they were afraid that they would be too slow. They would die if they came into contact with such a violent territory power. Yi Chun will definitely die. Let's run. Before they ran, they did not forget to curse Yi Chun. They despised outsiders that much. At that moment, Yi Chun's eyes were sharp as he faced the boundless, violent territory power. He raised his right hand high and released his divine telekinesis. Yi Wushuang understood what he meant. Yes, Yi Wushuang's face was filled with excitement, as if he had accepted an important mission. Spiritual light shot out of his body, and the heavenly Emperor Sword's spirit light appeared between his brows. My body is the sword. The sword is my body. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Subsequently, a shocking scene appeared. Yi Wushuang's entire body transformed into a starlight sword that soared into the sky. What? That brat? That brat turned into a sword? There's a supreme aura in this sword. This aura is too terrifying. Unbelievable. The spectators who had just fled were dumbfounded when they saw such a shocking phenomenon. It was as if they had seen a miracle. Yes, this was a miracle. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The heavenly emperor's sword soared into the sky like a dragon descending to the mortal world, spewing clouds and mist. Whoosh. Eventually, the heavenly emperor's sword appeared in Yi Chen's hand. As soon as it touched Yi Chen's heavenly emperor body, a supreme glow exploded. No matter what you are, you must die. At this moment, the two conjoint stage powerhouses had already fallen into a frenzy because they had broken through their limits. Their expressions were ferocious as they raised their spiritual energy to the limit. Their powers merged as they charged toward Yi Chen at the same time. Kill! Blood continuously seeped out of their eyes. It was extremely terrifying. Boom! Their figures were like exploding rockets, unstoppable. Facing such a terrifying attack, everyone thought that Yi Chen would definitely be like an ant on a hot pan, running away in a frenzy. However, they were wrong again. He actually stood there without moving, waiting for death. Why are you still pretending when you're about to die? Arrogant or idiotic? No one understood, nor could they understand. The person standing in front of them was not a simple spatial tempering cultivator, but a true celestial emperor. Before the heavenly emperor, even if the firmament collapsed, he could also stroll leisurely in the courtyard. This was the difference in the spiritual realm, and for martial arts disciples, the most important thing was whether they could comprehend the supreme spiritual realm. Only comprehension was the true Tao. Kill. Looking at Yi Chen, who was as calm as still water, the two powerhouses were enraged to the extreme. With their cultivation base and foundation, they should be able to crush Yi Chen. Why was the person before them not afraid? They could not accept such a contrast. Heavenly Emperor's Sword. Universal Slash. Yi Chen suddenly opened his eyes like a dragon opening its eyes, instantly attracting the starlight from the 9 heavens. The starlight enveloped Yi Chen's body, and he became the most dazzling star on the battlefield. Whoosh! His feet suddenly stomped on the ground. Ancient god power secretly erupted, and his speed reached its limit. With the support of the ancient god space, Yi Chen seemed to have entered a different dimension and disappeared completely before everyone. Where is he? Everyone asked in shock. However, they did not have a chance to ask the two powerhouses on the battlefield. Impossible. The strongest power that the two had gathered had lost their target. How tragic was that? Whoosh! Just as the two of them were in a state of panic, a cold light suddenly appeared in front of them, causing them to feel as if they had been blinded in an instant. This was not a coincidence. Everything was within their calculations. They had sacrificed their cultivation base to obtain such violent power. It was difficult for them to control it. In addition, they were anxious to face Yi Chen earlier, which made them angry and unable to control their emotions. Subsequently, Yi Chen relied on his extreme speed and entered the ancient god space, entering the realm of nothingness, and disappeared before the two. The many disadvantages made the two powerhouses fall into a daze. They were physically and mentally exhausted, and they felt lost. This moment was the best time to kill the enemy. Yi Chen was not just powerful. Kill. The two fought in a hurry, but Yi Chen's sword had absorbed too much power in the void. Swish! The cold light flashed, and the sword was unstoppable. Boom, boom, boom. Then, in midair, two heads rolled and fell to the ground. Their eyes protruded, and their hearts trembled. Their faces were twisted. This was the portrayal of the spectators. Great General He Ding, who was on a high platform, was even more despairing than them. They might have only lost their bets, but He Ding had lost his life. He let out a long roar and bared his teeth at the sky. Impossible! This is impossible! He jumped up again, shouting incessantly. He had found the best independent cultivators in Dawei City, but they could not even defeat a void refinement brat. He had never thought that this would happen. Ha ha ha. Yi Ding, what else do you have to say? The imperial envoy stood up and looked at Yi Ding coldly. Yi Ding was speechless. He had completely failed. Yi Chun, the last saint. The imperial envoy shouted. Wow. At that moment, the crowd was in an uproar. The imperial envoy had personally announced Yi Chen's victory, and General Yi Ding did not dare to say no to such an outcome. Everyone was shocked to see Yi Chun become famous after this battle. He's too powerful. His future is limitless. Yes, Yi Chun is a genius among geniuses. We've all misjudged him. We must worship him. Seeing that the imperial envoy thought so highly of Yi Chun, those who looked down on Yi Chun before changed sides and began to praise him. This was the importance of background. Before this, Yi Chun was a spirit realm cultivator with no background. However, it was different now. He had gained the recognition of the imperial envoy, and his value had soared 100 times. This group of fence-sitters began to fall with the wind. Yi Chun is invincible. Yi Chun is a genius. Yes, we're all Yi Chun's believers. Almost all the cultivators in the square knelt on the ground and worshipped Yi Chun. Yi Chun, are you willing to follow me to the imperial city to meet Emperor Ling Huang? Why not? Yi Chun turned around and looked at the imperial envoy. Chapter 1905. Haha, I didn't expect this. Bu Zhangqing was overjoyed. He did not expect the guests he found for free to perform so well. Not only did they kill the 6 demonic beasts, but they also easily killed the general's mansion's team. In this case, the city governor's mansion was the final winner. Congratulations, city governor! Many spectators were opportunists. Seeing the city governor's mansions rise, they immediately came over to congratulate them. Haha, of course, the city governor's mansion will win this competition. Oomph. Bu Zhangqing became smug. His attitude of thinking that Yi Chun and the rest could not achieve anything disappeared instantly. He did not care about his pride at all. Only benefits were eternal. Looking at the people around him coming to congratulate him, Bu Zhangqing acted like he was very superior. He nodded slightly, completely different from his previous listless look. Everyone, I've expected this, so don't be surprised. After saying that, he walked over to Yi Chun and the other two. The 3 of you have done a great service for the city governor's mansion. Tonight, I'll treat the 3 of you to a feast to celebrate. Bu Zhangqing stepped forward and said with a smile, We've done a great service for the city governor's mansion. The 3 of us participated in this battle to go to a higher place. As for what you said, we don't care at all. After saying that, Yi Chun turned around and left. The patriarch and Yi Wushuang followed him. Oh, what? Watching Yi Chun and the other 2 leave, Bu Zhangqing's old face darkened. He was filled with regret. It seems like my attitude earlier angered the 3 of them. No matter what he thought, Yi Chun would not come back. Sigh. So the 3 of them have nothing to do with Bu Zhangqing? I was happy for nothing. Seeing that Yi Chun and Bu Zhangqing's relationship was so cold, everyone shook their heads and left. Bu Zhangqing's moment of glory did not last for a moment before it disappeared. At the end of the day, all of this was caused by Yi Chun. What did it have to do with the city governor's mansion? Please. The imperial city messenger brought Yi Chun and the other 2 onto the sword boat and flew toward the imperial city. The imperial city of the spirit realm was located above the 9 heavens, between the sea of clouds at the spirit peak. The sword boat flew across the vast sea of clouds like a paradise. Fellow Yi, at such a young age, your strength is so valiant, and you can easily surpass your realm to battle, as expected of the human race's elite. The imperial city messenger looked at Yi Chun, his heart filled with joy. This time, he had come out to search for human elites. The conditions that the Spirit Emperor had given him were that regardless of background, only strength and age would be considered. Because the talent selection this time was of great importance. You're too polite. Senior is the real expert. Yi Chun replied calmly. He could tell at a glance that the imperial city's messenger before him was a tribulation stage powerhouse. His cultivation base might have just entered the tribulation stage, but by relying on the super dense spiritual chi in the spirit realm to cultivate, his foundation was several times that of a quintessential stage powerhouse. In other words, the blissful scholar and the imperial city messenger were both at the crossing calamity realm, but they weren't on the same level. I wouldn't dare. With your talent, you'll definitely reach body integration stage within 10 years. 10 years? Does fellow Taoist, ye have other opinions? Yi Chun smirked in the face of the imperial city's envoy's doubts. The reason I ascended to the spirit realm is to increase my cultivation as quickly as possible. There are many more important things waiting for me to do. 10 years is too long. Oh, in that case, how long do you think it will take for you to reach the body integration stage? 3 months. What? The imperial city envoy furrowed his brows in shock. Fellow Taoist Yi, aren't you being a little too dramatic? He said with a smile. Your vision is too shallow. There's no need to say so much. Yi Chun didn't want to say any more. Although the person before him was a crossing calamity realm expert, in terms of vision, the gap between him and the heavenly emperors was too big. There was no way to communicate at all. Sigh. The imperial city envoy sighed slightly. He thought that Yi Chun was too arrogant. Although his talent was extraordinary, he still needed more training. However, this wouldn't affect his judgment of Yi Chun because the spirit realm needed a talent like Yi Chun. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. When the sword boat entered the sea of clouds, it didn't slow down. Instead, it sped up. It was the secret technique that the imperial city envoy used to borrow the power of the sea of clouds to increase its speed. 6 hours later, everyone entered the Sea of Cloud Spirit Peak. The Sea of Cloud Spirit Peak is up ahead. Everyone, be careful. After the reminder, the imperial city envoy drove the sword boat and rushed into the depths of the Sea of Clouds. Rumble. In the sky, thunder rumbled. A desolate aura filled the sky, shocking everyone. ZZZT, ZZZT, ZZZT. Following that, thunder and lightning kept rushing around. It didn't care who was in front of it. It attacked. No wonder this person told us to be careful. Yi Chun could tell at a glance that there was an incomparably huge formation hidden in the clouds. The formation's rules were extremely complicated, and it even contained immortal techniques. At least, it meant that immortals were involved. Immortals? Thinking of this, Yi Chun couldn't help but feel a trace of excitement. Ever since he came to the human world to recultivate, he had never seen an immortal. Immortals were illusory existences, at least to ordinary people. This was especially true for the independent cultivators and immortals. They traveled the world up to the heavens and down to the netherworld. Not only did they have extraordinary cultivation bases, but they were also elegant people. Yi Chun closed his eyes to feel the energy of the surrounding formation. Sure enough, he accurately captured the immortal energy contained in a rule fragment. Independent immortal. His muttering attracted the attention of the imperial city envoy. Fellow Yi, don't tell me you've noticed something? Although the envoy could not believe it, he had noticed that Yi Chun had been behaving strangely ever since he entered the Sea of Clouds. Now that he had mentioned itinerant immortals, he could not help but think that Yi Chun had seen through the cloud formation. The Sea of Clouds Kala formation is indeed exquisite. Hearing this, the imperial city envoy turned pale with fright. It was impossible for him to see through the intricacies of such a formation. The person before him was only at the void refinement stage, but he had seen through the core of the formation. How is that possible? Yi Chun remained calm in the face of the imperial city envoy's shocked expression. He seemed to think that seeing through the key to this formation was an extremely simple matter. The imperial city envoy looked at Yi Chun again and was even more shocked. This kid is so calm, as if he's an old monster who has cultivated for 10,000 years. Isn't this too abnormal? He kept shaking his head, unable to understand the key point. However, he felt that it was a blessing from the heavens that he could find such a talent. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The sword boat flew quickly, passing through the clouds and entering the final Sea of Clouds Avenue. Everyone, this way. The imperial city envoy made an inviting gesture, and Yi Chun and the other two flew off the boat. The imperial city spirit peak is just ahead. Please don't be rash when you enter. Follow me to meet the Spirit Emperor. Don't worry. Yi Chan brought the patriarch and Wu Shuang with him and followed the envoy. Chapter 1906. The powerful pressure was suffocating. Yi Chan felt that this pressure also contained powerful immortal method rules. This power was not something that a tribulation-passing cultivator could create. Please, the envoy said to Yi Chun and the other two. He was observing Yi Chen's expression. However, under such pressure, Yi Chen's expression was very calm. There was not even a trace of surprise on his face. This made him feel very strange. It was impossible for someone at the spirit attainment level to be so calm when they felt such incredible pressure. Fellow Yi, do you feel anything? Finally, the envoy could not help but ask. Yi Chen took a deep breath and nodded slightly. The spiritual energy in this spirit peak is extremely dense. Absorbing it makes one feel refreshed. It's very good. Is that all? What else? The envoy looked at the patriarch and Yi Wu Shuang behind him. The two of them were clearly suppressed by the immortal method and looked very unnatural. Meanwhile, Yi Chan was the only one who looked fine. Nothing. The envoy smiled slightly and did not say anything else, but he was secretly delighted. This time, he went to various major cities to look for young and promising people. The purpose behind it was very important. This was related to the future of the spirit attainment level and the devil realm. Therefore, to be able to find someone as powerful and unfathomable as Yi Chun was exactly what he wanted. Clack, clack, clack. The four of them walked to the front of the hall together. A row of Imperial guards appeared in front of them. Yi Chen glanced at them. These Imperial guards were completely different from the ones in the previous cities. These Imperial guards had extremely high cultivation bases. They were all beginner tribulation-passing cultivators. When they saw Yi Chun and the other three, they were mighty and powerful. Who are you? One of them walked out. He wore golden armor and held a golden halberd. It was the captain of the Imperial Guards. Yi Chun looked over. This person's cultivation base had actually reached the advanced tribulation passing stage. I'm the envoy of Emperor Ling. I brought a human genius here. A genius? The captain of the Imperial Guards looked at Yi Chun and revealed a cold smile. Void refinement level. Lord Envoy, are you muddle-headed? Lord Imperial Guard, although this person's cultivation base isn't very high, his strength is outstanding. He's not at a disadvantage against someone at the advanced fusion stage. If I don't introduce such a genius to my emperor, wouldn't I be suspected of dereliction of duty? What a joke. The captain of the Royal Guards glared at Yi Chun coldly. A powerful aura was directed at Yi Chun. Yi Chun was originally a guest of honor and had not even entered the main hall, yet he was treated like this. He was furious. Boom! Yi Chun showed no fear despite the powerful aura pressing down on him. He stood still like a mountain of Mount Tai in the Big Dipper. Z. Of course, Yi Chun's cultivation base would be suppressed too much when facing someone who was in the advanced tribulation stage. Yi Chun directly activated the ancient god power and created the ancient god space. Boom! A tremendous force surged toward Yi Chun, but Yi Chun instantly hid it in the ancient god space. Although in the eyes of outsiders, this energy was constantly revolving around Yi Chun's body, in reality, it was trapped by the ancient god space. What? The Imperial Guard's eyes widened in disbelief. Impossible! A look of astonishment appeared on his face. Even though he did not unleash a peerless ability, he was still a late-stage tribulation transcendence cultivator. On the other hand, the young man in front of him was only at the void refinement stage. How is it possible for him to resist the power of his aura? How is it, Imperial Guard Captain? Looking at the invitation letter before him, the envoy said with a smile. The Imperial Guard Captain revealed a meaningful expression. He stared coldly at Yi Chun, still a little unconvinced. That's nothing. Since the Imperial Guard Captain is vouching for you, I won't stop you. But remember, young man, don't be too arrogant. He gestured for the guards in front of him to make way. The Imperial Guard Captain was very proud. He knew very well that the Imperial Guard captain had always been very arrogant, even toward the Imperial Guard captain. He did not expect that he would be defeated by Yi Chen today. Such a scene was rare. Boom! The doors of the main hall opened slowly, and a heavy feeling surged out. This was an ancient aura, the fortune of the heaven and earth that was hidden within the spiritual peaks' earth meridians. Please. Yi Chen nodded and walked forward. He keenly sensed that an extremely powerful aura had appeared in front of him. Both of you, please wait outside. Yi Chen looked at the Imperial Guard captain. Fellow Yi, this meeting is not a small matter. Let's follow the rules. Yi Chen motioned for the Patriarch and Wu Shuang to stay and followed the Imperial Guard captain into the hall. In the hall, the ancient aura from before was even stronger. Yi Chen could feel it very clearly. He looked in front of him and saw layers of light screens. Yi Chen narrowed his eyes and observed carefully, but still could not see any useful information. He immediately realized that this was a type of territory power. On the throne, there seemed to be a person sitting, but it did not seem like a person. It was incomparably illusory. Fellow Yi, I'll leave the rest to the Spirit Emperor. All right, Yi Chen agreed and continued forward. Behind him, the Imperial Guard captain walked out of the hall. The space was filled with a holy aura, as if it was triggering the spiritual power in Yi Chen's body. Yi Chen, suddenly, a voice came from the throne and reached Yi Chen's ears. This voice could shock people's hearts, but Yi Chen smiled coldly, not caring at all. How arrogant! What abilities do you have? There's no need to say more about my abilities. Why did you spend so much effort to find a genius? How dare you speak to me like that? Of course, you're not afraid of death. Ha ha! A puny Spirit Emperor is not worthy of my attention. Yi Chen's words caused the entire space to tremble. On the throne, a powerful aura attacked Yi Chen. With a cold shout, Yi Chen's supreme might erupted. The immortal slaying flying saber flashed and shattered the incoming aura. Boom, boom, boom. The space was constantly filled with all kinds of spiritual power explosions. Yi Chen was unharmed. Ha ha! Suddenly, a shocking laugh came from the throne. Your confidence surprises me. That surprises you? Your level of surprise is too low. Are you sure I won't kill you? 1,000 miles hunter to kill me? Do you think I'm a 3-year-old? How bold! Light and shadow flickered and a door appeared in the space. A person walked out of it. It was the Spirit Emperor's true body. Yi Chen looked at this person. He had a sage-like demeanor and an extraordinary temperament. You're the first person who dares to speak to me like this, but your confidence was right. I'm looking for geniuses for the sake of the human clan. Indeed, I won't kill you easily. If you have something to say, just say it. Why beat around the bush? Yi Chen walked forward and faced the Spirit Emperor. This plan involves a big operation. What operation? 6 Immortal Demon Techniques. Chapter 1907. What's the 6 Immortal Demons? Hearing this name, Yi Chen seemed to realize that something serious was about to happen and asked Ling Huang. It's a super God-fiend event held by peak gods and demons because the god and demon clans discovered a world-class secret realm. Oh, Yi Chen's expression did not change. A world-class secret realm was rather interesting. Before becoming a heavenly emperor, he had experienced countless secret realms. He did not know what kind of secret realm this Ling Huang was talking about. This secret realm is related to a secret that can make immortals and demons go crazy. What secret? The secret of becoming an immortal. Ling Huang thought that Yi Chen would be shocked and submissive. However, he was wrong. To Yi Chen, becoming an immortal was child's play. It was just a new starting point for cultivation. Seeing how calm Yi Chen was, Ling Huang's heart trembled. He was thinking, was this kid so arrogant that he had no understanding of immortals? Or were immortals just SOSO in his eyes? It was not normal for a void refinement stage cultivator to have no respect for immortals. Ling Huang had seen too many geniuses, but he had never seen anyone as arrogant as Yi Chen. However, from his expression, one could not see any blasphemy or pretense. Instead, it was an expression of genuine disdain. That was too terrifying. Yi Chen, Don't you fear immortals at all? Or do you think it's impossible for you to become an immortal, so you deliberately keep your distance? Ling Huang, you're wrong. In my eyes, it's just a new starting point. What's there to be shocked about? This, Ling Huang frowned slightly. According to what Yi Chen said, it was not wrong. This was because immortals, be it itinerant immortals or true immortals, were completely different from tribulation stage. Tribulation stage was like a stepping stone that gave one the possibility of becoming an immortal. However, to truly become an immortal, one still needed to understand the rules of immortal methods. This was the key and also the truth that countless tribulation stage cultivators could not figure out in their entire lives. In a few simple sentences, Ling Huang felt that Yi Chen's perspective was completely different from ordinary geniuses. His perspective was looking down, and even the true meaning of immortals was beneath his feet. Although his cultivation base was not there, his mental state had already transcended. Yi Chen, you're an extraordinary person. I've seen countless geniuses, but no one is like you. You look boundlessly arrogant, but the true meaning contained within is truly shocking. You flatter me. Yi Chen did not expect the person before him to be different from ordinary people. He had a certain spiritual realm. Since I've determined that you're the person I'm looking for, then I'll tell you about the 6 divine demon techniques. 100 years ago, my spirit realm discovered a mystic realm that contained boundless heaven and earth spiritual energy. There were even some laws that even tribulation transcendence eminences couldn't understand. It caused a stir in the entire spirit realm. However, because this secret realm is located at the intersection of the spiritual realm and the devil realm, the news of this secret realm was quickly discovered by the devil realm. They sent a large number of troops to attack it, and our spiritual realm also sent many powerhouses to fight them. This battle can be said to be the most powerful battle between immortals and devils in history. I don't know how many powerhouses have fallen. At this point, the spirit sovereign couldn't help but sigh. Many of his disciples, and even his fellow apprentice brothers, had died in the battle. Because of this war, both the spirit world and the devil world suffered great losses. Later, many experts from the spirit world and the devil world discovered that a new door had appeared in the depths of the mystic realm. This door was mixed with the power of the immortal and devil worlds. It could only be opened by people from the spirit world and the devil world circulating their yuan qi at the same time. Why? In the beginning, no one knew about it. However, as more and more people entered, people realized that cultivators above the age of 50 who entered would die without a burial place. As for those below the age of 50 with insufficient talent and foundation, they would also die without a burial place. However, genius cultivators could enter freely. However, there must be an equal number of people from the spirit world and the devil world entering. Otherwise, the balance of the secret realm would be out of balance. Those who entered would have no chance of survival. Such a strange result can't help but be suspicious. Ha ha ha. Geniuses are geniuses. How many people have been kept in the dark? I didn't expect you to see the key at a glance. Looking at the spirit sovereign's joy, Yi Chen was a little surprised. This person was unfathomable indeed. With just a sentence from the spirit sovereign or a slight expression, he could read a person's mind. A powerhouse. This secret realm must be man-made. Wonderful, the spirit sovereign exclaimed. Not to mention a young man like Yi Chen, even a 10,000-year-old monster might not be able to easily see through such a secret. Yi Chen's performance was incomprehensible to Ling Huang, but he was overjoyed. For the sake of this immortal demonic secret realm, the spirit realm and the demon realm have been entangled for far too long, resulting in countless deaths and injuries. However, no one had found the true secret of the secret realm. Now, Yi Chen was most likely the key to opening the secret realm. I've been studying this mystic realm for dozens of years to get this result. I didn't expect you to be able to tell at a glance that I'm inferior to you. If someone were here and heard this, the entire spirit realm would be in an uproar. The spirit emperor actually said that he was inferior to a void tempering realm brat. This was like a fantasy story, and it really happened in the spirit emperor palace. Yi Chen thought to himself, How many people in this world have the mentality of being the most supreme? This spirit sovereign before me is of a high position and has a profound cultivation base. Yet he can clearly see my position. This is not simple. Spirit Emperor, don't say too much. I'll participate in this operation. Ha! I knew you wouldn't give up on this opportunity to display your skills and obtain the treasure. The spiritual realm only needed to know the truth of the mystic realm. As for the treasures within, as long as one had the ability, they could obtain them for themselves. No problem. Entering the spirit realm was to improve his cultivation base. Only then could he enter the underworld to find Su Yuhan. All right, Yi-chun. The person who can design such a mystic realm is a powerhouse beyond our imagination. Once you enter, don't act rashly. Think twice before you act. Huh. In the face of the Spirit Emperor's reminder, Yi-chun only sneered and turned to leave. Outside the door, the envoy of the imperial city had been waiting for a long time. Arrange accommodation for Yi-chun and his companions. Yes, Spirit Emperor. The envoy left with Yi-chun and the other two. In the imperial city, he found a place with beautiful scenery for Yi-chun. Fellow Yi, how's the environment here? Not bad. Thank you. You're too kind. The Spirit Emperor really values Fellow Yi. We'll leave this trip to the mystic realm to you. We'll find the other 5 companions as soon as possible. 5 companions? The 6 immortal demon techniques are the 6 geniuses that both the spirit realm and devil realm need to enter the mystic realm. Chapter 1908. Fellow Yi, this is a gift from the Spirit Emperor. The envoy took out a storage ring and handed it to Yi-chun. Yi-chun took the ring and infused it with spiritual power. He sensed that there were many things inside. Since you're here, I'll take my leave. I won't be seeing you out. After the envoy left, Yi-chun opened the storage ring. There were many spirit stones inside that were shining with spiritual light. Ha! Fellow Yi, the quality of these spirit stones is much better than the ones in Dawei City. Even a patriarch can't bear to use them all. Patriarch, I think it's difficult for you to use them all at once, right? Fellow Yi knows me well. These supreme-grade spirit stones have extraordinary power. The energy contained in them can even be used as a supplement at critical moments. They're very valuable. That's right. Divide them into 3 portions, 1 for each person. Yi-chun divided the spirit stones into 3 piles and distributed them to the Patriarch and Wu Shuang. Although the Patriarch and Wu Shuang would not participate in this immortal demon tournament, both of them were at a critical stage in their cultivation. Yi-chun would not let them cut off their cultivation resources. There were also a few divine weapons, all of which were high-quality spirit weapons. Yi-chun also distributed them. The 3 of them returned to their respective houses and began to cultivate. Yi-chun's cultivation base had already reached peak void refinement. He could break through at any time if he wanted to. However, Yi-chun was not in a hurry because he wanted to improve his foundation to a higher level. Only then could he break through quickly after advancing to fusion stage without leaving too much time. Hiss. Yi-chun entered the house and casually built a protective formation, isolating the communication with the outside world. Roar. Following that, the Void Breaker Beast violently appeared. Phew! The Void Breaker Beast opened its huge mouth and a powerful suction force operated on the spirit stones. Instantly, countless spiritual powers surged into Yi-chun's body like a flood. This method of absorbing spiritual power was too brutal. Even a peak fusion cultivator would not be able to do it so easily and directly. This was because this would cause the spiritual power in the meridians to overload. Ordinary people would not be able to withstand it at all. They might even shatter their meridians and become a cripple. However, this was child's play to Yi-chun. The strength of the ancient god body lay in the meridian's ability to transport various kinds of energy. Ordinary people had meridians growing between their flesh and blood, but Yi-chun could call them god veins. The endurance of the divine meridians towards energy was more than 100 times that of the meridians. This was one of the reasons why Yi-chun's foundation was far superior to ordinary people. With the support of the devouring power of the Void Breaker Beast and the great devouring Mageweth that he cultivated, Yi Chen's cultivation speed was thousands or even tens of thousands of times faster than cultivators of the same level. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Soon, lightning appeared around Yi Chen's body. This was the effect caused by the energy explosion it could produce. Boom! Because the density of the energy was too high, the energy condensed into various forms in the spirit meridian and rushed towards the Qi Sea. Powerful energy rushed into Yi Chen's vital energy sea. Even Yi Chen felt excited. Good timing. Yi Chen channeled the ancient God Heart cultivation method and guided the psionic power to cleanse his Qi body, condensing it into energy crystals. This was the special effect of the ancient mystery technique. It could continue to suppress the liquid energy and turn it into energy crystals. These crystals could even be transported freely within the divine meridians. When used, the power that these crystals could unleash per unit volume was more than 10,000 times that of ordinary spirit Qi. This was the trump card that Yi Chen was most confident in. As the spiritual power in his body turned into energy crystals and was stored in various parts of his body, Yi Chen's body was also going through a qualitative change. Phew! Yi Chen spat out a mouthful of turbid air. As the energy crystals were created, the various impurities in his body lost the chance to hide and were forced out of his body. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Yi Chen opened his eyes, and starlight flashed. Astral transformation. As soon as the incantation was uttered, the universe shook. In the starry sky, countless stars shone at the same time. As if they were attracted by some powerful force, they kept pouring toward Yi Chen's position. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The starlight infused into Yi Chen's body made his body even more indestructible. At the same time, it also stimulated the creation of the energy crystals. Since the energy crystals are formed, it's time for a breakthrough. Yi Chen was determined. His eyes were sharp, and starlight bloomed from his body. Ah! Following a long shout, Yi Chen's body made a cracking sound. His muscles, bones, and blood were all undergoing a huge change. Ancient God Body Level 2, activate. With a furious roar, Yi Chen's skin began to crystallize. His entire body seemed to be made of crystal without any impurities. Ah! He raised his hand and threw a punch at the sky. Rumble. Heaven and earth resonated, and the sun and moon could not compete with it. After a night of absorbing, refining, and crystallizing, Yi Chen's body transformed again. The ancient God water crystal was formed. The second stage of the ancient God body not only increased his strength by 100 times, but at the same time, the circulation of spiritual power was more than 1,000 times stronger. Even those who had achieved mastery of body integration could only bow down to Yi Chen, let alone those who had just achieved body integration. Although such a powerful tremor was isolated by the formation, it still could not escape the detection of powerhouses. In the Spirit Emperor Palace, the Spirit Emperor soon sensed the existence of the phenomenon. Is that you, Yi Chen? In the Spirit Emperor's eyes, although geniuses were gathered in the imperial city, the person who could cause such a phenomenon was none other than Yi Chen. This boy is so unusual. He's not someone we can measure. His background is extraordinary. Initially, the Spirit Emperor wanted to investigate Yi Chen's background. However, after thinking about it many times, he believed that Yi Chen was not an ordinary person. He might even be the reincarnation of some super powerful person. If he accidentally angered that person's primordial spirit, the consequences would be unimaginable. It was precisely because he was the Spirit Emperor and had a high position that he could see more unknown and mysterious knowledge than ordinary people. While reading through ancient books and broadening his horizons, the Spirit Emperor knew that there were too many more powerful people in this world. Even the immortal stage was not the peak. Ha ha, Yi Chen, I hope you can see the truth of the immortal demon secret land. Open the eyes of us people in the spirit realm and break free from the shackles of the land realm. The Spirit Emperor was a low-level itinerant immortal. He had tried to go through the heavenly tribulation and ascend many times, but he had failed. In the end, He had no choice but to suppress his cultivation base and achieve mastery of tribulation stage to avoid the heavenly tribulation. However, as an ambitious cultivator, how could he let his cultivation base stagnate? Sooner or later, he would be killed by the heavenly tribulation. The immortal demon's secret land was his last chance, and this opportunity depended on Yichun. The starlight gradually subsided. Yichun stood up and walked out of the house. His eyes flickered as he muttered to himself, "Have I finally recovered to the fusion stage?" Chapter 1909. Yichun had elevated his one-star ancient god body to level 2 at the same time, greatly increasing his strength. This was Yichun's preparation for the 6 immortal demon techniques. The Spirit Emperor was already very powerful, but he was still so cautious about the 6 techniques of the immortal and demon. This was enough to show that the operation of the immortal and demon this time was not simple. The next day, Emperor Ling Huang received Yichun again. "Yichun, your cultivation base has already broken through to the conjoint body stage. How unbelievable." Sensing Yichun's current robust foundation, Ling Huang was very happy. It seemed that it was Yichun who had triggered the phenomenon last night. "The cultivation resources that Sovereign Chen sent over are of great help to me. When will the 6 battles of the immortals and demons be held?" "The time is still brought forward." "Oh, in 7 days." "Why?" "According to the calculations of the demon race's priest, there will be a strange phenomenon in the sky 7 days from now, which is the time to open the secret realm." Upon hearing this, Yichun's first thought was whether this was the demon tribe's conspiracy. The Spirit Emperor seemed to read Yichun's mind and said, "The secret realm was created by a super powerhouse. It's not something the demon tribe can control. Don't worry about that. Furthermore, once we enter the arcane realm, the 12 of you, the 6 immortals, and the 6 devils will have to work together. If anything goes wrong, all of you will suffer." Yichun nodded. "This is a classic that I've been studying. It's called the Heavenly Star Mind Control Technique. It will definitely be helpful to your cultivation. Take it." "Thank you." Yichun took the jade slip and infused it with spiritual power. In an instant, countless information entered his mind. Although these heart manipulation methods were almost useless against Yichun, as a heavenly emperor who had recultivated, many of his heart manipulation methods were much more advanced than this. It was just that the time was not right, so he did not use them. However, this was Spirit Sovereign's kind intentions, and he didn't want to expose his identity, so he accepted it. "Have you found the other 5? "I've found it." The Spirit Emperor pointed at the air and gathered his spiritual energy. A light screen appeared. 5 people appeared on the screen. They were the 5 people who were working with Yichun this time. All 5 of them are at the pinnacle of the body integration realm, and some of them even possess the strength to transcend their tribulations. "What do you think?" Yichun looked at the information of the 5 of them and nodded lightly. Actually, he didn't care about the 5 of them at all. He wouldn't share what he wanted with anyone else after entering the mystic realm. "Since there's no problem, let's gather at the mountain gate 7 days later." "Understood." Yichun turned around and returned to his residence. "Fellow Taoist Yi, what is the request of Spirit Sovereign this time?" The patriarch stepped forward and asked. "It's still about the 6 techniques of immortals and demons. It will open in 7 days. So urgent, it's the demons who can't hold back anymore. Old ancestor, Wu Shuang, this time you're outside while I am inside. If the situation changes, I am afraid I cannot take care of you." "What do you mean?" 7 days later, leave Spirit Peak secretly and wait for my news." "Aren't you in danger?" "Ancestor, are you saying that you have no confidence in me?" "Haha, I dare not, I dare not." The patriarch denied it while smiling. Subsequently, he and Yi Wushuang followed Yichun's instructions. Yichun continued to use the various treasures and spirit stones given by the Spirit Sovereign to cultivate. Although Yichun had advanced to the body integration stage and his strength had greatly increased, he still did not know what kind of people the demon tribe would send to participate in this operation. He had to be fully prepared. He sat cross-legged on a praying mat and meditated. Yichun did not eat or drink for 7 days in a row. His heart was as still as water. During this process, his ancient God body stage 2 cultivation became more complete. At the same time, his body integration cultivation base was incomparably sturdy. Even if he encountered a tribulation-passing powerhouse, he would not have a problem. Rumble. Suddenly, heaven and earth shook violently as the sound of a bell rang out. Yichen opened his eyes. All the meridians in his body were filled with ancient god power, triggering the light of the stars. They had arrived. Starlight shone brightly and neon lights paved the way. Yichen walked out. In the square of Spirit Peak, outside the mountain gate, the Spirit Sovereign personally arrived. Everyone, this operation concerns the future of the Spirit Realm and the Devil Realm. We must not be careless. Is Yichen here? Hearing the Spirit Sovereign's call, Yichen flew out. Starlight accompanied him, majestic. As soon as he appeared, he attracted the attention of the other 5 people. This is the leader of this operation. His name is Yichen. A cultivator said to a young man in white, you've just entered the body integration stage, and yet you're so arrogant. What a joke. The young man in white sneered. He could tell that Yichen was not a native of the spirit realm. Young Master Yufeng, this person is leading us. What is spiritual sovereign thinking? At this moment, a man in embroidered clothes stepped forward and said to the white-clothed young master, who knew that we, dignified geniuses of the spiritual realm, would actually be led by someone at the spiritual realm. How detestable! The 2 of them were unconvinced and looked at the other 3. The 3 of them were all from prestigious clans, and their cultivation was extraordinary. The strongest of them was Yuchi Fengyun, who had the strength to go through his tribulation. He delayed his tribulation for the sake of this mission, and he'd thought that he'd be the leader of this mission. He hadn't expected that his limelight would be stolen by a spirit realm brat, so he was naturally very displeased. Senior brother Fengyun, we've been suppressed by the foreign guests this time around. The white-robed and embroidered rogue young masters came over and said, Lin Long, Yufeng, the 2 of you saw that kid too. Humph, this person is arrogant and despotic. He actually flew up the stage when Emperor Ling summoned him. He really doesn't know what's good for him. A piece of trash who has just reached the body integration stage is leading us? How shameful. The 3 of them were enraged. All of you come up to the stage, Ling Huang said to the 5 experts below. Sigh. The 5 were very unconvinced, but it was useless. This was Ling Huang's order, and they didn't dare to disobey. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Everyone flew up the stage, not wanting to be stolen by Yichen. Fengyun, do you have any objections to my arrangement? Ling Huang stepped forward and asked the 5. This. Yuchi Fengyun respected Ling Huang very much, so he didn't want to cause trouble, but the 4 behind him all fanned the flames. Lord Spirit Emperor, what ability does this person have to dare to lead us? Zhou Yufeng stepped forward and questioned. Yufeng. Yuchi Fengyun wanted to stop him, but Zhou Yufeng had made up her mind and wouldn't back down. Ha! I naturally have my reasons for letting Yichen be the leader. His strength isn't inferior to yours, and might even be above yours. What? Hearing this, even though it was Ling Huang who said it, Zhou Yufeng could only sneer. Lord Ling Huang, although you're the highest leader of the spirit realm, you can't speak nonsense. Oh? Why would I speak nonsense? This person has clearly just reached the body integration stage not long ago and can be seen with a glance. How can he be above us? Moreover, this person is a spirit level ascendant, so his foundation must be extremely flawed. He'll only be a burden if he's with us. Hearing this, Yichen looked at Zhou Yufeng coldly. He had already endured for a long time, but he didn't expect these people to go even further. HF, Chapter 1910. Trash like you dares to criticize the actions of the heavens? Yichen glared at Zhou Yufeng coldly and responded in an overbearing manner. Heaven? Zhou Yufeng stared blankly for a moment before bursting into laughter. Ha ha, this kid says he's the heavens. Are you saying that this kid has endless cerebral palsy? He turned to look at the others and shouted with a loud laugh. Ha, that's right. Does he really think he's the heavenly emperor? What an idiot. His brain must have been damaged. Heaven, if you were me, I'd be the king of the universe. Countless spirit realm powerhouses mocked Yichen, But Ling Huang did not say anything. After all, calling himself the heavens was an act of boundless arrogance. Even Ling Huang could not stand it anymore. Although he acknowledged Yi Chen's strength, he did not think that Yi Chen was the heavens. Zhou Yufeng. Yi Chen suddenly shouted coldly. What do you think? Zhou Yufeng turned around abruptly and looked at Yi Chen with a smirk. However, soon, he could not laugh anymore because he saw an extremely tall giant staring at him from behind Yi Chen. This giant's entire body glowed with a golden light, as if a god of war had descended into the world. The pressure from its body was simply that of a god. There was fire in Zhou Yufeng's eyes. He could see everything because he was hit by Yi Chen's true samadhi fire. Meanwhile, the others could not see anything. They could only see Zhou Yufeng staring blankly at Yi Chen. Her eyes were filled with fear, but nobody knew why. Yufeng. Huo Linlong patted Zhou Yufeng's shoulder because he sensed that something was wrong with Zhou Yufeng. It was as if she had entered an illusion and was unable to extricate herself. But no matter how he slapped her, Zhou Yufeng's body trembled and showed no reaction. Huo Linlong was confused and looked at Yuchi Fengyun behind him. Brother Fengyun, what happened to this kid? Yuchi Fengyun walked over and released his psionic energy to sense Zhou Yufeng. There was nothing out of the ordinary, but his expression and his body were trembling uncontrollably. What was going on? So what did you see? Yi Chen suddenly spoke. The atmosphere instantly turned strange. Yuchi Fengyun and Huo Linlong locked their eyes on Yi Chen at the same time, looking furious. What did you do to him? Yuchi Fengyun asked. I didn't do anything. Yi Chen replied. Heavens, you are indeed the heavens. I'm convinced. Zhou Yufeng knelt on the ground directly and kowtowed to Yi Chen. Ha 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 ha. Yi Chen's domineering laughter resounded throughout the entire place. The might of an ancient god surged out, and everyone felt their bodies tremble. Many of them who did not have a strong enough foundation directly knelt on the ground, as if they were worshipping the celestial emperor. Yuchi Fengyun and Huo Linlong also felt the terrifying aura and retreated, not daring to be careless. Lowly ant, remember today's lesson. When Yi Chen turned around and walked away, Zhou Yufeng got up from the ground while trembling. Yufeng, what's wrong with you? Why are you kowtowing to that bastard? Zhou Yufeng, are you crazy? The remaining geniuses from the spirit realm all reprimanded Zhou Yufeng for his lowly behavior. After all, Zhou Yufeng was an existence that was on par with them. If he did this, it would not look good on them. Looking at this scene, Ling Huang was equally shocked. As a Ling Huang, his cultivation was incredibly high, and he was an expert who was close to becoming a loose immortal. Yet, he was actually unable to tell what was going on. What kind of secret is this kid hiding? Ling Huang was puzzled. However, things had come to this. Yi Chen was going to be the leader. He did not want to cause a rift with Yi Chen because of this matter, so he did not say much. All right, even Zhou Yufeng has submitted to Yi Chen. What other reason do you have to object? Ling Huang spoke in a timely manner. Yuchi Fengyun and the others were also fearful of Yi Chen's earlier actions and bowed. We're willing to submit to Yi Chen. Under Yuchi Fengyun's lead, the 5 experts bowed at the same time. Very well, fellow Yi, these pieces of trash must be suppressed. The patriarch suddenly spoke in a loud voice as if he was afraid that no one could hear him. Who are you? You deserve to die. Who do you think you are? How dare you act so arrogantly in the spirit realm? The patriarch's behavior immediately caused the geniuses to retaliate. Many powerhouses came out to target the patriarch. I'm just speaking the truth. Are you guys not happy? Ha ha ha. If you want to fight, I'm specialized in that. I'll keep you company. The patriarch of hell flew out, holding the underworld sword. He faced the many spirit realm experts without fear. At the same time, Yi Wushuang appeared with the heavenly emperor's sword. Damn it! Many powerhouses attacked one after another, wanting to kill the patriarch. Rumble. Just as the spirit realm powerhouses attacked, there was a sudden loud noise in the sky. A huge palm descended, and the people of the spirit realm felt as if their bodies were being torn apart. It was unbearable. How dare you target my friend before me? Yi Chun took a step forward, and a powerful gale swept through everyone. Ah! Screams rang out as many spirit realm fusion powerhouses were swept up by the gale and sent flying. Ha ha! That's what I said. You pieces of trash are nothing before fellow Yi. The patriarch took out his wine gourd and enjoyed a mouthful of wine. He even frowned and smiled at the 5 powerhouses. This was clearly a mockery. He did not give them any face at all. His crazy old man, Huolin Long, was furious and wanted to attack. No, Yuchi Fengyun stopped him. Fengyun, what's the meaning of this? Don't you understand the current situation? Ling Huang is obviously protecting this kid. It's not appropriate for us to attack here. What do you mean? Don't say any more. The road is long. What are you afraid of? He understood. Huolin Long nodded slightly. He already understood what Yuchi Fengyun meant. Seeing that the 5 powerhouses did not attack, the powerhouses were intimidated by Yi Chun and did not dare to attack. Yi Chun's name spread throughout the spirit realm instantly. A spirit stage ascender could become the representative of the spirit realm and even become the leader of the 6 immortal demon techniques. This news was too shocking. Let's go now. Ling Huang knew that the people from the major clans were not convinced and did not want to cause trouble, so he gave the order to go. Yes, everyone bowed and boarded the sword boat, heading toward the immortal demon secret realm. Rumble. The sword boat team set off, and powerful energy surged out, shaking the entire spirit peak. The immortal demon secret realm was located at the border between the spirit realm and the demon realm. It was called the Spirit Demon Valley. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In the sky above the Spirit Demon Valley, violent demonic clouds surged wildly, as if the demon tribe was welcoming the human tribe, showing the nature of the demon tribe. Ha ha ha! Violent laughter shook 1,000 miles. The demonic clouds transformed into the form of a powerhouse. It was the Demon Lord. Ling Huang, how have you been? Ling Huang's eyes narrowed. With a wave of his hand, powerful spiritual energy swept out, turning into the form of a Ling Huang, facing the Demon Lord. HF, Chapter 1911. The Sovereign Lord of the Devil World. What is the meaning of this? The Spirit Emperor furrowed his brows and asked angrily in the face of the powerful magical energy that blotted out the sky. Spirit Emperor, why be so stingy? I'm just worried that your old eyes won't work and you won't be able to see where I am. That's why I'm welcoming you like this. Can't I? Faced with the spiritual emperor's question, the demonic world's sovereign didn't want to give in and replied forcefully. Ha ha, since that's the case, it would be impolite not to reciprocate. I can't fall behind either. The powerful spiritual energy of the spiritual emperor soared into the sky, forcefully forcing back the demonic energy of the demonic realm sovereign. The two sides were at loggerheads, and there was no sign of them cooperating at all. They were fighting for the limelight. However, this was not only a battle between the two of them, but also a battle between the human race and the demon race. Therefore, it was for this reason that the spiritual emperor refused to budge. Spirit Sovereign, I don't think your spirit realm has any talents this time. Bilal will have to worry about the matters of my spirit realm. Take care of your people from the demon realm. Don't go in there and die. That will only cause harm to the people of my spirit realm. Don't worry. Even if your spirit world's team dies, my demon world's people won't die. The spiritual emperor didn't want to waste his breath and flew down. Immediately, everyone went down to the valley of the secret realm. In the spirited demon valley, the spiritual energy and demonic energy were extremely complicated and unpredictable. This was the most complicated situation. Therefore, after entering the spirit demon valley, the spirit emperor gave everyone the glazed beads to resist the devilish energy, and everyone had to carry them with them. Are you all ready? Ling Huang asked Yi Chun and the others. I'm ready. Yuchi Fengyun and the others replied. Yi Chun did not care about this at all. As long as he entered the secret zone, he would be able to find his own opportunity. Moreover, the glazed bead that the spirit emperor had bestowed upon him was even more of a burden. This was because Yi Chun had cultivated both the immortal and demonic cultivation systems. He was a very powerful spirit cultivator and, at the same time, a very powerful demonic cultivator. Not only would the demonic ability here not harm him, but it would also strengthen his advantage. Of course, Yi Chun still kept the glazed orb. He did not want to expose too much, and at the same time, he did not want to arouse the spirit sovereign's suspicions. Go. I'll leave the spiritual realm to you, Ling Huang said to Yi Chun and the others. Spirit Emperor, there's no need to worry. This will definitely be the end of the demon race. Yi Chun stepped forward and said loudly. The people shook their heads when they heard that and saw that it was Yi Chun. This person is too arrogant. He doesn't know how dangerous this secret realm is. That's fine. As long as Yi Chun dies, he'll be implicated like the demon that he branded. He might not be able to escape death. That's a good show. That's right. As long as Yi Chun dies, we'll have a higher chance of winning. Everyone murmured. Many spirit realm combatants hoped that Yi Chun would die. At this time, Ling Huang led Yi Chun's group of 6, and the demonic world overlord led the demonic world's people. Seal it. All right. Ling Huang gestured for Yi Chun and the others to step forward while the 6 demon tribe powerhouses stepped forward at the same time. Don't move. The demonic realm sovereign and the spiritual emperor reminded everyone at the same time. Following that, the demonic world overlord and Ling Huang released powerful psionic energy at the same time. Immediately, the 6 spirit realm people and 6 demon tribe people formed a seal between each other. Once this seal is formed, you'll have a destiny connection between you. You'll need to help each other to balance the immortal and demonic power in the secret realm. If there's a rift, if one of you dies or is severely injured, the seal will be damaged, and the energy in the secret realm will be out of balance. This will cause unimaginable consequences. Do you understand? Ling Huang shouted to the crowd. Understood. The 12 people responded at the same time. Ha ha ha. Since the seal has been formed, let them enter. Of course. Ling Huang and the demonic world overlord came before the gate of the secret realm. The 2 of them unleashed powerful palm prints and hit the gate. At the same time, they released 2 keys, one yin and one yang. They fused together and formed the complete key to open the stone gate. Rumble. The key entered the big gate's keyhole. Instantly, the stone gate moved and opened. As the stone gate opened, Yi Chun sensed waves of immortal and demonic power surging out. The power could no longer be separated and had clearly merged into one. No wonder it requires immortal and demonic powerhouses to enter. This power is really strange. Yi Chun led the people from the spirit realm into the secret cave. On the demon clan side, one of the demons walked in front. This person was tall and had 2 horns on his head. He had an extraordinary aura. Yi Chun knew at a glance that he was the leader of the demon clan. Ha ha! I didn't expect that the spirit realm would let a kid who had just entered the fusion stage be the leader. What a joke. After entering the gate, the demon with 2 horns on his head mocked Yi Chun. On the spirit realm side, none of the 5 responded. Clearly, they were dissatisfied with Yi Chun's group. How interesting. No one from the spirit realm is speaking up for you. Kid, what's your name? The demon asked Yi Chun. Yi Chun looked at the demon coldly. Oh, not satisfied? The demon saw Yi Chun's arrogant temperament and asked with a sneer. Demon, don't talk to me. I'm not interested in you. After Yi Chun finished speaking, he turned and walked forward. The demons behind him sneered. One of them even said, You've just entered the fusion stage and you're holding us back with your cultivation base. Is this a conspiracy of the spirit realm? What are you afraid of? Haven't we already arranged everything? Yes, the leader is right. Many demons laughed at Yi Chun. This made the 5 from the spirit realm feel very embarrassed. After all, the leader was Yi Chun. Now that they were being mocked, it was equivalent to saying that they were inferior to Yi Chun. This was very difficult for them to accept. Shut up. Finally, Yuchi Fengyan could not help but scold angrily. Oh, isn't this the spirit realm's genius, Yuchi Fengyan? I heard that you've already reached the ascension stage, but you've been taken as the leader by someone who has just entered the fusion stage. What right do you have to talk to me? Li Xiong, who do you think you are? How dare you be so arrogant? Yuchi Fengyun and the demon were at each other's throats. This concerned the reputation of the spirit realm and could not be ignored. Ha ha ha. Yuchi Fengyun, you're really useless. After that, Li Xiong led his team and walked forward. Sigh. The many people from the spirit realm behind looked helpless, who asked their leader to be someone with a low cultivation base. Meanwhile, Yi Chun had already entered the depths of the secret cave. In the eyes of Li Xiong and the others, such behavior was a rookie who did not know the meaning of death. However, Yi Chun had long surpassed the limits of immortals and demons. He would not feel any discomfort from the energy fusion here. Everyone, let's move together. We can't be held back by that brat. Brother Fengyun, don't worry. We'll listen to your orders. That brat is nothing. Yes, let that brat die here. He'll be a burden to a demon. Isn't that perfect? Yuchi Fengyun and the others smiled coldly and waited for the result. Into this chapter. Chapter 19:12. After entering the secret cave, Yi Chun continued forward. He did not care about the people behind him at all. He did not care about the demon who worked with him either. He only wanted to find out the truth of this secret cave as soon as possible. Just which expert was able to create such a secret cave for both immortals and demons? Yi Chun began to think. He quickly recalled his own experience. He believed that this powerhouse must have lived in both the demon tribe and the human tribe, or even had outstanding achievements in both life experiences to be able to create such an exquisite secret cave. This was the trial ground of both the demon tribe and the immortal tribe. From the design, it could even be seen that the two tribes had to help each other in order to carry out certain actions. Was there some hidden message? Just as Yi Chun was searching for the truth, the demon clan, led by Li Xiong, parted ways with the human clan, led by Yuchi Fengyun. They seemed to be deliberately avoiding the human clan, which was a very dangerous thing to do in the secret cave. Soon, Yuchi Fengyun and the others noticed this. That's strange, Zhou Yufeng said. What is it? Yuchi Fengyun asked. Don't you think it's strange? According to the previous information, immortals and demons always work together to enter the secret cave. Now that the demons have left us so quickly, it's obvious that it's intentional. Something's not right. Zhou Yufeng's words aroused the other suspicions. Senior brother Fengyun, according to the prodigies who entered the secret cave is full of dangers. Many difficulties can only be solved by the power of both immortals and demons. Are these demons so confident that they can solve it themselves, or are they hiding some secret from us? Well, Linlong was smart for once, voicing his opinion. The various suspicions of his juniors forced Yuchi Fengyun to think. And that Yi Chun, he's going alone. Isn't he courting death? It's very suspicious. Someone suddenly said, Yi Chun? That kid is an idiot. Nothing he does is suspicious. We must follow Li Xiong and the others. We might be fooled. All right. Everyone agreed and rushed in the direction that Li Xiong had gone. At that moment, the people who entered the secret cave split into two groups. Yi Chun went alone, while the others followed Li Xiong's footsteps. No one knew what they were going to face. After walking alone for 300 miles, Yi Chun felt a subtle change in the environment. The surrounding space became cold. This kind of coldness wasn't just the coldness of the body, but the energy within it was already out of balance. Is this the energy imbalance that the Spirit Emperor was worried about? That was because Yi Chun was not accompanied by the person who made the imprint. As a result, the immortal and demonic power between them was unbalanced, which would definitely cause such a strange change. Interesting. Yi Chun smiled lightly and activated his demonic technique. A supreme-grade Mageweth appeared on his right arm. ZZZ. The demonic inscriptions emitted a powerful Pandora demon energy that surrounded Yi Chun's body. At the same time, Yi Chun released his psionic powers. The two energies complemented each other perfectly. As the immortal and demonic powers circulated, Yi Chun felt the coldness on the surface of his body gradually disappear. The coldness disappeared and Yi Chun continued to fly. After traveling another 300 miles, Yi Chun found 3 tunnels. Life, death, and peace. 3 words appeared above the 3 passageways. What does that mean? What did these 3 words represent? Yi Chun looked at the 3 gates. The gate of life and the gate of death contained powerful energy. This energy constantly stirred the wind and clouds. It was very chaotic. Within the gate of peace, the energy was very stable, as if everything was so peaceful. It also seemed to be telling those who came that it was the answer they should choose. At the same time, in another tunnel, Yuchi Fengyun and the others had already caught up with Li Xiong and the other demons. Why are you running so fast? Aren't you afraid of the energy imbalance? Yuchi Fengyun watched as they caught up with Li Xiong and the others, gradually calming down. After all, as long as the immortal and demonic people were here, the energy imbalance would not happen. They were temporarily safe. Ha! Yuchi Fengyun, I heard that you're one of the drunken geniuses of the human race. I didn't expect you to be so cowardly, Li Xiong said with a smile. Yuchi Fengyun glared at Li Xiong, his heart filled with rage. Senior brother, don't be rash. Zhou Yufeng stepped forward and said. Yuchi Fengyun scoffed coldly and did not respond to Li Xiong. Li Xiong, don't talk nonsense. My senior brother Fengyun is powerful, but he's a kind person. There's nothing drunken about him. You should know very well that unless we work together, we can forget about getting any treasures. I believe you all know how injured those who entered the secret cave were. If you don't cooperate, only death awaits you. Zhou Yufeng stepped forward to negotiate. That's right, I have no intention of not cooperating. Suddenly, Li Xiong's attitude took a 180-degree turn, and he actually accepted the cooperation. Yuchi Fengyun was puzzled and felt that this was not normal. However, cooperating was also beneficial to him, and he had no reason to stop it. All right, Li Xiong, it's best that you agree to cooperate. Where's your leader? Leader? Ha! That idiot has already gone on his way. I guess he's dead somewhere. That's fine. That trash might affect our plans. Let's go together. Agreed. Yuchi Fengyun and Li Xiong nodded, and the others followed behind. Soon, they arrived at a large hall, where 3 doors appeared. Life, death, and... Yuchi Fengyun looked at the 3 doors with a puzzled expression. He looked at Li Xiong, hoping to get an answer from him. Hee, there's no use looking at me. I'm not excited. Li Xiong spread his hands, putting on an innocent look. However, from his eerie smile, Yuchi Fengyun seemed to see something. Li Xiong, why don't you choose? Yuchi Fengyun made a gesture of invitation. Oh, the human race's prodigies are so kind. Or do you not even have the courage to choose? Li Xiong, our time is limited. If we can't complete the mission in 72 hours, the secret cave will close and we will die. Good. Li Xiong revealed an eerie smile, and then came before the 3 doors. Life, death, and... Ha! Then we're all smart people. Naturally, we choose the life door. He walked toward the life door. Yuchi Fengyun and the rest felt that it made sense and followed. However, just before the door, Li Xiong suddenly stopped. Yuchi Fengyun and the rest felt their hearts skip a beat. They thought that Li Xiong was waiting for them to enter the life door. Please, Li Xiong, this is your choice. Please, I'm trash. I choose the death door. Suddenly, Li Xiong changed his mind and entered the death door. End of this chapter. Chapter 1913. Li Xiong had suddenly changed his choice and chosen the death gate. This was something that Yuchi Fengyun and the others did not expect. The group of people stood rooted to the ground. Death gate? No matter how they thought about it, it didn't sound like a good omen. What should they do now? Senior brother Fengyun, the behavior of the demon race is very strange and abnormal. I think that there shouldn't be a problem if we follow them. How so? Why do I feel that they seem to have a well-thought-out plan for this operation? Could it be that they have a map of the secret cave? It can't be. With that said, the crowd fell into chaos again. However, the people of the devil race were walking further and further away. They walked straight into the gate of death, as if nothing had happened. It didn't look like they were entering the gate of hell at all. They were just walking the normal path. Keep up. In this mystic realm, the separation of the immortal and demonic powers is dangerous in itself. Let's just follow them and see what happens. Yes, everyone obeyed Yuchi Fenyun's command and followed the demons into the Death Gate. Li Xiong, they've caught up. A bunch of trash. This is their only choice. The best is yet to come. Li Xiong smiled coldly slightly and led the fiend clansmen to continue forward. At the same time, Yi Chun faced the same choice. The middle gate of harmony seems to be balanced, but it will definitely be suspected by experts. As for the gate of life or the gate of death, I will do the opposite and enter the gate of harmony. As a heavenly emperor, Yi Chun did not take the usual route. He walked straight into the gate of harmony. Inside the peace gate, the path was smooth and there was no sign of chaos. The more that was the case, the more Yi Chun felt that the Heat Gate was not as simple as it seemed. There must be many tests in it. After walking for a while, Yi Chun walked into a large hall. The hall was shrouded in a layer of fog, and there were specks of light everywhere, which was intimidating. Golden pupils flame. Yi Chun did not want to waste any more time. He activated his golden pupil fiery eyes right away. The true Samadhi fire burst out, and the mist dissipated instantly. An ancient hall appeared in front of him, and a Buddha sat in the middle of the hall. Buddha? When he was the heavenly emperor, Yi Chun had also visited the Western Buddha. Among them, there were countless powerful and ambitious people. Now that he saw the Buddha statue, Yi Chun was a little interested. Walking into the main hall, Zhang Xian noticed that the surroundings had not changed at all. Yi Chun condensed energy from his fingers and shot it out in all directions. So. As the sword Qi traveled, Yi Chun did not sense any mechanism arrangement at all. This hall is so strange. What is it? Yi Chun found it strange that there were no traps at all. A secret realm like this must have been designed by an immortal demon almighty to test one's wits and martial arts cultivation. There were no traps at all. What was the test for? Yi Chun was very confident in his judgment. He walked into it directly without any hesitation. Z. Walking into the main hall, the hall suddenly lit up with candlelight. Oh! Yi Chun instantly locked onto the Buddha statue. The Buddha statue's eyes shone with a golden light, illuminating the surroundings and lighting up the candles around. Golden Buddha, do you have something to say to me? Yi Chun asked as he walked forward while staring at the Golden Buddha. Haha, you juniors are so arrogant. This is the first time I've seen such arrogance in my life. The Golden Buddha's sudden words stunned Yi Chun. He was just asking casually. He did not expect that the Golden Buddha really had divine consciousness hidden in it. Who are you all? Trying to act mysterious here. Show yourself. Yi Chun shouted coldly. In front of the heavenly emperor, hiding was a sin. You're an anomaly. The Golden Buddha's eyes opened and locked onto Yi Chun. The corner of its lips curled up slightly, revealing a Maitreya smile. Z. Following that, the Golden Buddha's sharp eyes attacked Yi Chun. Child's play. Yi Chun was already prepared. With a wave of his sword finger, the ancient god Sword Chi instantly broke the sharp light and the space shook. Kacha. It was obvious that the sharp light was very powerful, but it was useless before Yi Chun's ancient god Sword Chi. The ancient god Sword Chi's energy density was more than 100 times that of ordinary spiritual energy. It had long surpassed the Golden Buddha's expectations. How is this possible? As expected, the Golden Buddha's divine consciousness was also shocked. It did not expect that a person who had just entered the conjoint body stage could produce such powerful sword chi. Looks like you're not an ordinary person. Then who am I? With your talent, ordinary geniuses can't compare to you. This is abnormal. Unless you're a peerless genius that only appears once in 10,000 years, but I don't think you're one. Then who am I? I see great fortune in you. At the same time, it's accompanied by boundless golden light and supreme majesty. You're the reincarnation of an almighty. The Golden Buddha's words made Yi Chun look at it in a different light. You can see that. You're extraordinary. I wouldn't dare. Since you're the reincarnation of an almighty, I won't hold back anymore. Oh, Yi Chen's eyes met the golden Buddha's. Instantly, waves of sword chi collided in the space. The powerful might cause sparks to fly. Even if you're the reincarnation of an almighty, you're only a conjoint body cultivator. Today, this will be your burial ground. Fake Buddha. Yi Chen's cold shout shook the space, stunning the golden Buddha. Before heaven you, bow your head. The golden Buddha's eyes provoked Yi Chen's killing intent. The immortal, slaying saber bloomed. Swish, swish, swish. The saber spun and rushed out. The immortal slaying rule was constantly evolving as Yi Chen's cultivation base increased. Master, this person is rude. Leave him to me. All right. Yi Chen threw the immortal slaying flying saber and secretly added ancient god power to the blade. Swish, swish, swish. The immortal slaying flying saber was like a stream of light, constantly flashing and flying in the space. The saber gleam and sword shadows were incomparably sharp. In the blink of an eye, the golden Buddha's body was covered in saber marks and was in ruins. The golden Buddha was furious. It released powerful spiritual power, causing the surrounding space to change drastically. Kacha, kacha, kacha. Soon, the space shifted and countless arrows were aimed at Yi Chen. You're very well hidden. Yi Chen did not reject any of these flying arrows. Kacha, kacha, kacha. The ancient god body displayed its might. Yi Chen squeezed his hands, and countless flying arrows shattered. With such a foundation, you're not a conjoint body cultivator at all. You think too highly of yourself and are short-sighted. I don't think there's any meaning in you creating this immortal demon secret realm. Destroy it. Yi Chen shouted coldly. Ancient god power erupted. The immortal slaying flying saber was covered in ancient god light and slashed. Rumble. No. With an unwilling voice, the immortal slaying flying saber flashed, and the golden Buddha's head fell to the ground. Rumble. As the golden Buddha's head fell to the ground, the powerful spiritual power contained in the golden Buddha's body continued to radiate. Roar. The void-rending beast roared and opened its huge mouth, absorbing the endless spiritual power. Phew! Yi Chen exhaled, and his body underwent an intense transformation. This spiritual power was clearly different from ordinary spirit stones. This was the pure spiritual power that the golden Buddha had refined for hundreds of years. Yi Chen's cultivation base rose to another level. Chapter 1914. Buzz, buzz, buzz. At that moment, a golden core floated out of the golden Buddha's body. Oh! Yi Chen grabbed, and the golden core entered his palm. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The golden core continuously released powerful demonic energy. It was completely different from the golden Buddha's psionic technique. Immortal and demonic dual cultivation. Interesting. Yi Chen put away the demon core and looked around. Go! He threw a punch. A loud rumble shook the surroundings, and the golden Buddha shattered on the spot. At the same time, a stone door appeared behind the golden Buddha. Rumble! The moment the stone door appeared, the surrounding space shook rapidly. Countless rocks fell from the roof. It was obvious that this place was going to collapse. Yi Chen looked at the stone door and realized that it did not open automatically. There were two flashing light spots. The light spots flickered and soon formed two big seals. Yi Chen's eyes were sharp as he looked at the seals. He realized that the attributes of the two seals were fundamentally different. One was spiritual power, while the other was demonic energy. Ha! He laughed out loud. As expected, this was the hidden meaning of the Door of Peace. It seemed peaceful inside the Door of Peace, but every time one entered, one would have to face the immortal and demonic test. Without a spirit cultivator and a demonic cultivator present at the same time, it would be impossible to open the stone door. The vibration in the space triggered the formation of destruction. If one could not open the stone door within the time it took to burn a stick of incense, they would die. Rumble! Kacha, kacha, kacha! With a huge vibration, the floor cracked, and an abyss-like cave appeared below. Yi Chen's eyes lit up as he looked into the cave. A terrifying scene unfolded. Underneath the cave, resentment rose into the air, constantly eroding one's mind. Upon closer look, countless bones were buried in the cave. They were the geniuses who had died here. There were demon geniuses and human geniuses. They were all powerhouses, but they had their own thoughts. They entered the door of peace without a group. In the end, they could not open the immortal and demonic stone door and could only die in the hands of the Creator. Even if they traveled together and had immortal and demonic power, they would still die here if their foundation was not strong enough or their comprehension was not strong enough. The door of life, the door of death, and the door of peace. Among the three doors, the most dangerous was the door of peace. Trying to show off before an expert. How could such a stone door stop me? Yichen glared at the stone door coldly and flew up. Z. Suddenly, the stone door released the immortal demonic light and rushed toward Yichen. Destroy. Yichen pointed with his sword finger and unleashed the netherworld destruction finger. The immortal demonic light shattered on the spot. Subsequently, the supreme-grade demonic patterns on Yichen's left hand continued to extend. A dark fist gleam burst out. On his right hand, spiritual energy went berserk as palm energy bloomed. Azura, heaven-shaking slaughter. Heavenly lightning, God, slaying palm. The demonic energy in his left hand shook the heavens, and the spiritual energy God, slaying palm, is right. Two powerful forces pierced through the seal on the stone door. At this moment, the destruction formation had reached its limit. Yichen had lost his footing. Z. The surrounding walls continuously emitted powerful rays of spiritual and demonic power, killing those in front of them. In truth, Yichen could have broken the stone door and left a long time ago. However, he wanted to see the truth of this secret realm and see the most secretive information. Boom! Suddenly, from the roof in the underground cavern, a long spear formation rushed out. It kept pressing its palms together towards the center, wanting to crush the people in the main hall. I'll let you guys crush me. Yichen did not dodge. He floated in the air, allowing the spear formation to crush him. Kacha. When the spear formation came into contact with Yichen's body, the expected crushing scene did not exist at all. The spears aimed at Yichen shattered and turned into dust. It's better for this vicious formation to disappear. Yichen took a step forward and rushed to the stone door. Boom! The stone door opened, and Yichen walked into the long corridor. Subsequently, the stone door slowly closed. Yichen patted the dust off his body and continued walking as if nothing had happened. Meanwhile, the two teams of immortal and demonic cultivators who had entered the death door had also walked into a main hall. Li Xiong, you guys left so quickly. Do you have a map? Finally, Yuchi Fengyin could not help but question Li Xiong. Haha, Yuchi Fengyin, what do you mean? You should know the characteristics of this secret realm. Every time you enter, the secret realm will change and become completely different from before. Do you think it's possible to have a map of this place? Li Xiong sneered in response to Yuchi Fengyin's question. Yuchi Fengyin looked at Zhou Yufeng, Hua Linlong, and the rest behind him. They were also deep in thought. After hundreds of years of research, the spirit realm and devil realm had reached a consensus on many of the characteristics of this secret realm. The automatic transformation of the formation was one of them. Could it be that the devil clan has deciphered the law of transformation? Hua Linlong suddenly asked. Li Xiong's eyes turned cold when he heard this question. It seemed that this question had touched on his taboo. Yuchi Fengyin noticed the change in Li Xiong's expression and nodded slightly. Li Xiong, we're partners. You should know very well that in this secret realm, immortals and demons will die if they don't cooperate. If you want to obtain more treasures, the first thing you have to do is cooperate. Don't worry, we'll distribute the treasures reasonably with you. Is that so? Of course. Yuchi Fengyin, I'm a man of my word. Then I'll thank you. I really do know a place with treasures. Oh, this piqued the interest of Yuchi Fengyin and the rest. As the youngest batch of Heaven's Chosen that had entered the mystic territory, they had long wanted to establish a great merit to show those old powerhouses that they couldn't look down on their generation. Now, Li Xiong's words were exactly what they wanted. Moreover, Yuchi Fengyin was about to enter the tribulation realm. This was a threshold. If he could cross it, He could cultivate hard for a few hundred years and even become itinerant immortal. This was Yuchi Fengyun's main goal in entering the secret realm. Li Xiong, find the treasures. I only want those that can help me pass the tribulation. The rest is yours. Tell me. Zhou Yufeng, Hua Linlong, and the rest were displeased. They really didn't want to share the treasures with the demons this way. Very good, Yuchi Fengyan. I knew you were the strongest human prodigy and the smartest. I found the right person to cooperate with, Li Xiong praised. Ah, as long as Brother Li and I work together, there's no obstacle we can't overcome. Of course. Li Xiong rejoiced at Yuchi Fengyun's increasing trust in him. Zhou Yufeng and the rest, on the other hand, weren't very happy. They knew that if they really found the treasures, it would be split between Li Xiong and Yuchi Fengyan. This wasn't very beneficial for them. Enough chit-chat, let's get moving. Brother Li, lead the way. Chapter 1915. Li Xiong snickered to himself and led the group forward. The demons were restless and the atmosphere became strange. However, in order to find the treasure, Yuchi Fengyun did not pay much attention. He was confident that he could overcome everything with his strength. Zhou Yufeng, Hua Linlong, and the rest who followed behind also acknowledged Yuchi Fengyun's strength. After all, he was the only one who was about to ascend to the tribulation stage. Clack, clack, clack. Under Li Xiong's lead, the group walked into a dark hall. The environment here was cold and gloomy, and there was a strange aura floating about. There were even traces of demonic energy interspersed in this aura. As the one with the highest cultivation base, Yuchi Fengyun naturally sensed the demonic energy. This made him slightly puzzled. Of course, in the immortal demonic secret realm, there were places with demonic energy and spiritual energy. It was understandable. This was also information mentioned in the previous research, so Yuchi Fengyun did not think too much about it. Li Xiong, is this the place you were talking about? Yuchi Fengyun asked Li Xiong. Ah, that's right. This is a secret place. We demons have studied it for a long time before finding it. This time, it's time for me to make a name for myself. Li Xiong was very excited. He seemed very confident about this place. Then, Li Xiong, please find the treasure quickly. We're willing to split the treasure with you. Thank you for your support, Brother Fengyan. Let's search together and dig together. It's our duty. All right. Li Xiong took out a dark dagger. Then, the dagger flashed with blue light and the surrounding space gradually became clear. This blue light was very special. It was very compatible with the surrounding environment. This meant that the dagger had been made specifically for this environment. Zhou Yufeng and the others sensed something was amiss, but Yuchi Fengyun's mind was clouded by the treasures. All he could think about was how to overcome the tribulation, and nothing else mattered to him. At the same time, Yichen broke through the Golden Buddha Palace and continued forward. After walking through a long corridor, he came to a peak. Who are you? The peak sensed Yichen's presence and asked directly. Yichen knew that there must be a divine consciousness guarding this peak. Human, Yichen. He walked to the front and replied to Gao Feng. You managed to break through the Golden Buddha Hall alone. You are someone who cultivates both immortality and demonic. So what? The other party could tell that he was an immortal and demonic dual cultivator at a glance. It was obvious that his cultivation base was profound. However, who was Yichen? He was the reincarnation of a heavenly emperor. This was a piece of cake for him. A wild and unrestrained person. I like it. Your personality is somewhat similar to mine. However, I don't know how capable you are. We'll know once we try. Yichen extended his right arm and gestured for him a fight. Instantly, the space shook and the laughter was like thunder, eroding the consciousness of the cultivators. Oh, such tricks were useless against Yichen. Kill. Yichen attacked in rage. He waved his sword, and the Heavenly Emperor Sword's form appeared above his head. He swung in the air and slashed at the peak before him. Boom! The powerful sword might cause spirit energy to surge, and a layer of light appeared above the peak to block the sword might. Seeing the light screen, Yichen knew that this was the peak's defense formation. He put away his sword temporarily and calmly dealt with it. Arrogant brat, You actually dare to target me like this. Do you know the consequences? Consequences? Ha ha ha. The consequences are that you die and I live. Hearing this, Galfone was enraged. In hundreds of years, you're the first person to speak to me like this. If I don't grant you death, it would seem like I'm being stingy. You speak of life and death so easily. It seems like you've never thought of letting me go through this. Ha ha ha, smart. As Galfone laughed, countless rocks crumbled. Subsequently, these rocks turned into a huge palm print, descending forcefully toward Yichun. Oh, Yichun stood alone in the battlefield. The prestige of the Heavenly Emperor had never been shaken. Go! With a casual wave of his hand, the palm energy whistled and the dense spiritual energy shot up. Rumble! Kacha, kacha, kacha! Galfang's palm print and Yichun's palm print collided in midair, clashing. In an instant, the space shook and spiritual energy roared. The huge palm print was swept away by Yichun and turned into dust. With such a foundation, you're not a conjoint body. You're inexperienced and made presumptuous judgments. You're not qualified to be called a lord. Galfone was enraged and activated the powerful earth vein killing formation. Rumble. The ground shook and the rocks cracked. The power of the killing formation rushed out, and there was no place to stand. Huff, huff, huff. Yichun stepped on the rocks and floated in the air. Let me teach you how to arrange this formation. How dare you treat me like this? I swear I'll kill you. Ha ha, an ant of the mortal world. How can you fight against the heavens? Bastard. Galfone could not take it anymore and activated the ruthless killing formation, locking onto Yichun's position. The great Tao is mysterious. Heaven and earth are beautiful. Day and night are pure. Yichun chanted the incantation, and his body emitted the ancient god's light, gathering the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. TSS, TSS, TSS. With the gathering of spiritual energy, Yichun's body was like a golden sun, suppressing the earth vein killing formation. At the same time, heaven light and earth spirit, two powerful energies pierced through the 9 heavens and 10 earths. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Instantly, the energy in the earth vein exploded and the rocks crumbled. The spiritual energy was different and the killing formation was broken. Impossible. Galfone could not believe what he saw. To him, this person's cultivation base was not at the beginner amalgamation stage. He already had the ability to go through the retribution stage, or even higher. You're looking down on my formation. I'll fight you to the death today. Ha ha ha. Since I entered this secret zone, I'll destroy this evil formation of yours. Yichun raised his sword finger high. Suddenly, the Heavenly Emperor's sword spirit appeared in the sky again. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Endless sword chi spun and protected the Heavenly Emperor's sword spirit. The gigantic Heavenly Emperor's sword was taking shape. Firehouse destruction. Galfang's body emitted waves of dark magical energy. The powerful might had surpassed the amalgamation stage and reached the retribution stage. He was sure that Yichun was a retribution stage man. This was also the formation's most powerful attack. He wanted to kill the person before him and cut off his path forward. Very well. A cold gleam appeared in Yichun's eyes. Heavenly Emperor Sword. Universal slash. His body shot into the sky like a whirlwind. The Heavenly Emperor's sword slashed down from the 9 heavens, aiming at the dark peak. Rumble, rumble, rumble. At this moment, dark flames grew around Galfone. It was the Hellfire House power. Kill. The Hellfire House power turned into the ultimate killing palm. Its majestic might shocked all directions. Rumble. The Heavenly Emperor's sword and the Hellfire House destruction palm finally collided. ZZZ, ZZZ, ZZZ. Lightning flashed, dust flew everywhere, and the space was chaotic. Into this chapter, chapter 1916. When the dust settled, only one person could be seen. The peak before him had collapsed into rubble. The Heavenly Emperor's sword had shattered the Fire Palace killing palm. Yichun had won. As the peak collapsed, the entire space was on the verge of destruction. A magic tool hovered in the air inside the peak. Yichen looked at the magic tool. It was burning with flames like a furnace. Upon closer inspection, it was made of purgatory. It was the Fire Palace Purgatory. Sensing it carefully, Yichen realized that the magic tool was of extremely high quality. It contained powerful fire energy and was extraordinary. Come! Yichen clenched his fist, and the magic tool flew into his hand. Rumble! A new path appeared behind the peak. Let's go! Yichen flew out and continued forward. At this moment, in the strange place of the Death Gate, Li Xiong took out the magic tool and caused the space to change. Brother Feng Yun, please activate your qi with us to open this treasure land. No problem. Yuchi Feng Yun was clearly confused by his own goal. He was thinking about how to find the treasure to break through to the tribulation stage, but he did not notice that the entire space was filled with demonic energy that was hidden in the formation. Zhou Yufeng, Huolin Long, and the others were unwilling to help, but Yuchi Fengyun's eyes signaled them to do so. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The 5 powerhouses of the spiritual realm released their power at the same time, continuously infusing qi into the magic tool. Immediately, the spiritual energy entered the magic tool and was transformed by the magic tool, turning into powerful demonic energy that was infused into Li Xiong's body. Ha ha! Li Xiong laughed maniacally, which made Zhou Yufeng and the others unhappy and suspicious. Li Xiong, what are you laughing at? Huolin Long asked. Nothing. I thank you for giving me the ability to open this treasure land. Looking at Li Xiong's strange expression, Zhou Yufeng and Huolin Long were already suspicious. After all, they were not as eager to break through as Yuchi Fengyun was. They just wanted to explore. Now, they could calmly think about everything. They gradually felt that Li Xiong's various actions were not normal, and Yuchi Fengyun had fallen into his trap. Senior brother Fengyun, don't release your spiritual energy anymore. Huolin Long shouted. What do you mean? Yuchi Fengyun asked unhappily. This magical item belongs to the demon race. We don't understand how it works. I keep feeling that something is wrong. Our power seems to be being absorbed by the magical item and converted into Grimbear's power. This, after all, Yuchi Fengyun was a master who was about to undergo tribulation. Huolin Long's reminder made him feel strange. He turned to look at Li Xiong, who wore a sinister expression on his face. Yuchi Fengyun could feel his own psionic energy pouring uncontrollably into the artifact as he strengthened it. Li Xiong, stop the magic tool. Yuchi Fengyun roared. Ha ha ha, brother Fengyun, the energy infusion of this magic artifact has yet to be completed. Just like you, we are also instilling energy into it. If we stop now, all our efforts will go to waste. Li Xiong, I told you to stop the magic tool. Yuchi Fengyun was clearly enraged. His voice was laced with threat. In order to find a treasure, I really can't stop. Bastard! Yuchi Fengyun shouted angrily, unleashing all the power in his body in an attempt to forcefully sever the link between him and the magic tool. Seeing this, everyone from the spiritual realm knew they were in trouble. One by one, they unleashed their own powers in an attempt to sever the link between themselves and the magic tool. Ha ha ha! But Li Xiong suddenly let out a wild laugh, as if everything was under his control. You useless trash, today is your doomsday. Li Xiong finally revealed his true colors. He shot a look at the other 5 masters of the demon race. Immediately, all 6 of them unleashed their demonic energy and activated the powerful demonic array in the earth. Kaboom! As the 5 masters unleashed their demonic energy, the earth cracked and all sorts of demonic patterns appeared. It was the demonic killing array. Oh no, brother Fengyun, we've fallen into a trap. Zhou Yufeng shouted. Can't I tell? Yuchi Fengyun glared at him, his heart filled with rage. He had been tricked by Li Xiong. How could he accept this? Li Xiong, you should know my strength. You're courting death. Ha ha! Yuchi Fengyun, do you really think you're the only one going through tribulation? What do you mean? I'll show you the power of the demon race. With that, Li Xiong's eyes emitted demonic light, and he immediately lifted the restrictions on his body. A powerful foundation erupted. Because he had absorbed the spiritual energy of the 5 masters of the spiritual realm, his foundation had been upgraded to the tribulation realm. What? The 5 masters of the spiritual realm were shocked. From Li Xiong, they could feel a power that surpassed the peak of the body integration realm. This was definitely the tribulation realm. A bunch of idiots. This is completely under my control. Do you think this place is a place of supreme treasures? Ridiculous. Li Xiong walked in front of the crowd and began to explain his plan. He wanted the people of the spiritual realm to die in despair. The reason I brought you here is because the demon race's grand formation has long been buried here. It was designed by the demon race's previous geniuses to wipe out the entire human race. Li Xiong, if we die, you demons won't be able to do anything alone. You'll definitely die from the energy imbalance. Haha, why are you so stupid? I dare to do this. Can't I deal with the energy imbalance? With that, Li Xiong put away his artifact and activated it, releasing a powerful spiritual light. The crowd was filled with regret. It was all their stupidity that had allowed Li Xiong to collect enough spiritual energy. Yuchi Fengyan, what else do you have to say? The #1 genius of the spiritual realm? What a joke. Bastard. Yuchi Fengyan lost his cool in anger. He was the #1 genius of the spiritual realm, the hope of the human race. How could he be fooled by Li Xiong? This was a humiliation, a great humiliation. Die. Without another word, Yuchi Fengyan began to kill the traitor before him. Idiot! Li Xiong roared and waved his claws, bursting with demonic energy. Rumble! Kacha, kacha, kacha! Rocks shattered, space shook, demonic energy shot into the sky, and the giant palm descended. The moment he touched the demonic palm, Yuchi Fengyan felt an irresistible force and was sent flying. Brother Fengyan, the people of the spiritual realm were dumbfounded. The #1 genius of the spiritual realm had been sent flying by Li Xiong. They all came to Yuchi Fengyan's side and helped him up. This demon absorbed our power and already has the foundation of the tribulation realm. It seems that he's been planning for a long time. We're going to die here. End of chapter.